Okay, clap, clap, clap on, clap off. All right, buddy. Let's do it again. Welcome over to the party. Welcome to Guy Party Podcast, episode Nifty 50. Our 50th episode.
It was still episode.
Coming. What's up?
You still said episode.
Episode? Did I say? Fucking hey, dude. Welcome to Guy Party Podcast, Nifty 50. The 50th time we are doing this and recording for everybody here. I didn't say episode that time. Welcome to the party. I am Al Broody, one of your hosts. This is Matty Brook Daddy. On the other end of the line here, coming to you from Philly, coming to you from Cheyenne, Wyoming. Welcome.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool stuff.
Woo!
Today, it's going to be a special day, I think. We are going to probably give a lot of spoilers for Avengers Endgame.
Which
so
will be at the very end. We will say when we are getting there.
Yeah, we'll say that when we get there. We have some other news and stuff beforehand. But we will get to that.
Mm-hmm.
So before I get into this stuff again, you can, of course, find us on Instagram there, guy_party_pod. You can send us an email, guyparty91@gmail.com. You can hit us up independently on Instagram, and we have a Discord here, of course, but we can link that to you. But I also have a PSN that I go on mostly, so that's BrewD33, BREWD.
Look at you.
33. So that's where I'm easily accessible because I'm always on there. And I never did that before, so check it out. And Matt, I don't know if Matt's always on.
You can't find
here.
me on Steam. There's so many people
Or
on
Steam.
Steam that use the same name.
You can't find him, even though he uses 0s and 3s in his name.
Not on Steam.
Ooh, this guy is a fucking ghost. He's over there drinking Wawa coffee like it's not making me jealous too. Like,
Maybe I got it intentionally to make you jealous.
is it just black coffee, or is it like vanilla, French vanilla, or hazelnut, or...
Black coffee with a little bit of French vanilla creamer. That's it.
Okay. I like their just
That's it.
straight up hazelnut brew coffee. It's so delicious. When I come home when I go back to New Jersey for family vacation, I'm just gonna go to Wawa every morning and buy fucking hazelnut coffee.
What you should do before you leave also is get one of the bags of the beans.
Yeah, I'm sure I can order that online though, or
You
even right now.
Probably could
But
actually.
It's not the same. Gotta brew it in those disgustingly large pots. Like they do you gotta go into a Jersey gas station to get it.
The other week, I think it was like their 50th year being open or something. They were celebrating some milestone for years. And it was free coffee that day.
Oh, dude, I love that day, but it's
and
so busy.
Literally, it was just like a giant vat for regular coffee. That was probably 50 gallons. And it was just like... Because they knew people were going to come and get coffee, so they're like, rather than constantly pulling out regular and making new regular, they got a giant vat, essentially, to put regular coffee
Here's
in.
a cask of coffee.
Yeah.
Enjoy, plebeians.
It was ridiculous.
I would have loved that, because I would have just stayed there all day and drank their coffee. But anyway.
Well, some of us have to work for a day.
Yeah. That's true. I would have went on a Saturday if it was a Saturday.
It was not. It was like a Friday or Wednesday or Thursday.
Got you. Cool. Well, anyway, how was your week, bud? What have you been doing? What have you been playing?
What have I been playing?
doing?
Well, I realized non-gaming related, I'm starting to feel really old.
Explain.
So on Wednesday, I woke up and it felt like I pulled something in, I felt like I pulled my right hamstring. And I was like, I don't know how this would have happened because I didn't do anything that I feel should have warranted it. I didn't do anything hard climbing that would have done it. I didn't go running or play any sports or anything. I was like, this is fucking weird. So Wednesday and Thursday, it felt like that. And then Friday, Saturday, and today, which is Sunday, it's been my left hamstring.
The hell did you do?
I don't know.
Did you take a hard fall or something?
No.
That you kind of just brushed off at that point?
No.
But,
That's the thing. I didn't do anything different. And it's just I'm feeling old because with my hamstrings in the past week, I've been like, yeah, I'm not working anymore. I'm taking the day or two off, and it's like, well, fuck you.
Shit.
But
Huh.
yeah, so I'm starting to feel a little bit old.
It's like that every day.
I've been playing through more Witcher, as
I
usual.
saw that. I saw the stream.
I think I'm like roughly 2/3 of the way through. I'm guessing because like under the things where it says like find Ciri, it's like look for Ciri in these 3 places. I'm done 2 of the 3.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like level 18 or something, I think, at this point.
It's like level 10.
Yeah, well, you gotta play.
I'm gonna beat Revolution right after this. Anyway.
And then grinding out achievements in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. Decided to hop back into that and just grind that out because I'm like
Nice.
a little over halfway through. Just a pain in the butt. Playing through Borderlands. Game of the year with our buddy
look at
Derek
you,
and
D-Brock. Shout out to Derek.
36 out of 80 right now. And I think last night I got like 8 achievements alone.
Gotcha.
So plowing through a lot of that.
That's pretty easy to get those trophies in that game.
Yeah.
At least base game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And
I platinum it
then
in like a week.
well, look at you.
Base game.
Oh, I was gonna say that's also very impressive because there's some stuff in the DLC that is super fucking
Oh my
grindy.
God, yeah. Fucking Moxie's Underdome. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, buddy. That's awesome. like,
beat Celeste.
You finally beat it?
Yeah, and I found out when I stopped playing it like 2 years ago or something. Whenever I stopped playing it, when I got
How
like
far were
far, I was probably within a half an hour of finishing the game. Like I was
Dude.
on the last chapter when I stopped playing.
That game is fucking awesome. I gotta play it again with B-sides.
Yeah, I feel like I want to go through and like just on my own time kind of grind out achievements because I still have 21 still to get, so might as well.
I have to do that. I have it for Switch.
And then I bought the Devil May Cry HD collection on Steam because it was on sale for like 30% off. So it's like 15
That's
bucks
always
or
nice.
something.
Okay.
So I'm eventually going to start that. I've heard really good things about the series and just have never played it.
You gonna stream it or?
I'm thinking about it, yeah. Probably.
Okay.
But I want to like
Nice.
try and finish Witcher right now. And I think that might be the only thing I'm actually really streaming besides Mario Hacks. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I saw you streaming that shit again.
yeah. And then me and my buddies have actually started playing this new game called, well, not new. It's new for us. Divinity Original Sin 2.
Never heard of it.
It's a really RPG-esque game where it's like top-down,
Okay.
turn-based combat. And you can play with up to 4 other people.
Okay.
Essentially, like, it's kind of like almost like Dungeons and Dragons where you can have like a fighter, a mage, a cleric, stuff like that.
Okay.
And you gotta be tactical because, like, you have to be like, okay, well, I can attack this guy and like take him out for a turn so he can't attack, or go after this guy, that. Bunch of different classes, skills, super fun. I'm enjoying it, and I've been thinking about because there's a game before it, the original game, Divinity Original Sin 1, which I've been thinking about playing through first. Supposedly they're very loosely linked. Like the first one takes place like 1,000 or some years before the second, and just kind of explains one of the mechanics in the second game. It seems like. So I'm in between streaming Devil May Cry series and Divinity Original Sin. Divinity Original Sin 2, I think it took me 10 hours to get through the first act alone, and
How
there's
many acts?
at least 4.
Okay. So it's gonna be worth the money,
Yeah, my one buddy who's been playing through it, that got us into it, he's still on his first playthrough, and I think he has over like 50 or 60 hours in it right now.
Jesus.
Just because it's a game that doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Where did you go?
you gotta talk to a bunch of people to get quests. Like when it comes to puzzles, it's like doesn't really hold your hand. It's just like, hey, you gotta open this lever. That's it. Like there's no real way to like
lever at.
yeah. It's either finding the lever or like a certain way to open it.
Yeah.
So I think he said the one puzzle took him like 2 to 3 hours to figure out, and it was very simple.
Just didn't give you any direction.
Yeah, which I like. Just like also some of the quest lines, like it would say like, do this, and on the mini map like it doesn't appear, and you just have to find the person that's talking about, or you gotta find where it's talking about, and I'm enjoying it.
That sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like turn-based combat too much in games, but
I'm iffy about it, but like, so I'm iffy about turn-based. Like, there's a couple of games I have. Actually, most of the turn-based combat games I've played are like, like this one tells you at the top of who's going when.
Gotcha.
So you can be more tactical about like, oh, if I attack this guy, who's attacking in between my two characters' turns, and we kill him, then we get another attack essentially. I'm not a fan of turn-based combat where it's like you don't know who's necessarily going when, and it's just like all feels
only
random.
Only turn-based combat I like is Pokemon old school. I attack,
Yep.
then you attack.
Yep.
I attack, you attack. That's it.
Well, that's what I like about Divinity is it like tells you, so you can be more tactical about it. You can kind of know.
Yeah.
You can be a lot more tactical about it. It's not just like, do I want to risk going for this guy and possibly not have him attack for another round or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm enjoying it. And then I saw Avengers Thursday night. Spoiler free. I thought it was really good. I don't know if it was as good as Infinity War. I think I liked Infinity War more. But they're two completely different tones of movies, in my opinion. Which we will talk about later. And I think it's going to be a movie where if I watch either of them in my free time, I'm going to have to watch the other before or after.
It's one movie.
It's part one, part two. Like I was talking to my dad Friday
is.
night when I went out to dinner with my parents, and they asked if I saw it, and I was like, "Yep." And my dad's like, "All right, maybe I'll try and see it." I'm like, "Make sure you've watched the one before." I'm like, if you haven't watched the one before, it's not gonna make sense because it's essentially a part one, part two movie.
We watched Infinity War the night before.
Yeah. Like,
well, technically 3 nights before. We watched 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Ish. So,
like a good way to kind of explain it, if for some reason you haven't been up to date with Marvel movies, it's like watching kind of like Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's kind of like a part one, part two. At the end of Empire Strikes Back, stuff happens that kind of leaves you on a cliffhanger, doesn't really finish up the story, and then like Return of the Jedi finishes the story. Infinity War and Endgame are exactly that.
I was reading things. Infinity War is a Thanos movie. Endgame is an Avengers movie.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I mean that was kind of talked about when Infinity War first came out. It follows Thanos. Thanos is the protagonist in the movie.
Yep.
He is the main character trying to achieve a goal, and the Avengers are actually the antagonists, not necessarily the bad guy, but the people trying to stop him.
Yep. That's true.
So,
but since we've been following the Avengers, the whole for 20 movies, 22 movies, that's
for the past 10 years.
To win, but,
and it was Stan Lee's last cameo, sadly.
Oh, dude, it was pretty good, dude.
It was good. I think.
We won't spoil it yet.
Also, there was a lot of stuff in the movie that made me tear up for multiple reasons. I teared up a couple times for many different reasons. I'll leave it at that.
Me too. Me too.
There are many things that were cool. There were some sad things.
Yep.
And there was some fan service stuff that happened that didn't feel cringy or forced, and some stuff that I know fans have been waiting for a while, wanting to see.
Yeah, I think I might know what that is, and
there's a decent amount actually.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But how was your week?
Week was good. I'll keep it short and sweet. Just keeping with the gym. Got my competition coming up in 5 weeks, so that's.
I saw that Instagram story, man.
Fast. I was 198 yesterday.
Nice.
So 24 pounds down.
Nice.
So yeah, it's coming along. We're getting there.
It's coming along.
Besides doing that and working, I played a lot of World of Light this week.
Okay.
and I've actually been getting into like the whole spirit aspect of it. I really
Okay.
didn't like you didn't give a shit about it before, just like, oh, equip. Oh, I'm at a spirit disadvantage. Yeah, equip whatever. I'm actually going through picking what, like, I pick a different fighter. Okay, what spirit works well for him, and how do I upgrade this and do my skill tree? So I'm actually like, I'm invested in it now a little bit. You know, I
All
want
right.
to I want to get through and beat it. So
Yeah.
I'm having a really good time going back through that finally and giving Super Smash some well deserved time. But
Nice.
did some of that. Played some Mario Kart, of course. Um, Played a little bit of Celeste, maybe about an hour. Not even that much. And then I've just been streaming and playing Borderlands Remastered.
How
Going
many
through all the
achievements you
DLC.
got left in that?
Geez, I don't know. Pretty much everything. I got one achievement in Moxie's Underdome. I th- no, I don't even think I got one.
I was gonna
I
say
was
I think
going
there's
through.
only 4
I
in
didn't. I didn't.
Moxie's.
I'm sorry. I only beat one of the rounds,
Okay.
the first rounds. So I got to beat 2 more to get the lesser of the whatever.
Yeah.
So, I 100% in Nox's DLC. I'm sorry. I need one more trophy. I need to get level 61. That's 100%. I did Jacob's Cove 100%, and I'm doing Claplet, the Robo Revolution right now.
All right.
So, I just kind of started that a little bit last night and the night before, but I've been too tired. So
Yeah. And
anyway.
that has like 2 or 3 achievements that are super grindy of just
I got
waiting
the
for.
Claptrap one. Getting all the Claptrap components from Tannis.
No, I'm
Like
not
the
even talking about
brains or
that.
something?
Like the
No.
achievements where it's like collect 3 panties, 5 goldfish, and 15 pieces of pizza.
Oh yeah, I'm on.
And you just have to
I got the
kill a
3
bunch.
panties. I got the 3 panties.
You would.
I think I'm just getting the pizza. I need more pizza.
And it's like
the-
25 gas cans and like this many
Yeah.
goldfish, and it's like
So you pretty much just have to go around and kill a fuck ton of Claptrap.
yeah.
Is what it is. So
Pretty much, I would just reload my file and just go into that spot behind Tannis. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
And just go back there and kill a bunch, and then
The
quit,
junkyard kind of
reload.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean 50 or so spawn there. So yeah, it's a pretty good spot.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
I
easy
feel
enough.
like the drops are so little. Like I feel like I get like 2 or 3 each time,
every run. Yeah, it's bullshit.
and
but-
then eventually, like you said, you already got the panties, and it's like the panties just
Okay.
keep dropping. It's like, all right, I already got these. I don't need these
dropping
anymore.
panties, man.
Give me more.
Yeah.
Give me something else.
It's gonna be a bullshit. The oil cans, I think I've got like 3, and there's no way
Yeah.
to check really, is there?
No, I don't think so.
And if memory serves me correct, maybe 4. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm just doing that. But
So,
I also watched somebody stream some Days Gone, and I took some notes on that.
Yeah, I watched
kinda go with
a
that.
couple guys stream a little bit of it, and
But
we can talk about that a little bit later.
yeah. So I mean, that's my week. I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet. We have a lot to talk about. So
And
just living
gaming.
life, man. Living life, gaming, working, and going to the gym.
All right.
Yay, life. Sounds so amazing, doesn't it?
All right.
Anyway, yeah.
So Days Gone.
Okay, yeah. Let's just get rid. It's partially a video game podcast. Let's get right into it. So, I forget his name, but I probably watched him stream kind of on and off while I was at work, but I was just doing some mindless work on my other screen and had him going. So, I just took some notes on what I liked and what I didn't like about it, and overall, just looking at him playing the game and like even just through a shitty monitor on a TV or on a desk, it looked pretty damn good, didn't
It
you?
it
Would you
looks pretty.
agree? I think I wrote that exactly. Game looks pretty amazing graphically.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it's 2019. We should almost be expecting that now. You know, games should look good. Games should be fluid and nice, and the scenery should be well rendered and everything good. You know, so that really doesn't give it too much of a nod. But took some other small things here. You know, he was using a crossbow. I guess that might be one of the early on weapons you can accept.
Yeah.
You can retrieve. But when you use the ammo for that, if you get a good enough shot, you can retrieve the ammo bolts. I like that. Just small little things like that. You actually need to fill your gas tank in your motorcycle. And
I did see
If you-
that.
I thought that was really good. Has that really ever been incorporated into a game before? Like as like a
Yes.
main story thing?
So there's a game which actually I saw someone in the stream I briefly popped in to watch a little bit of, said it kind of reminded them of the game in general. There's a Mad Max game that came out
Ah, yeah.
a couple years ago. I think around the time the movie came out.
Okay.
And you did need to find and collect gas for your car. And if you
Okay.
didn't, you essentially had to walk through the wasteland, which
Yeah,
was
it sucks.
very barren and bare. So it was like gonna suck if you had to do that.
Yeah.
I dabbled a little bit in that Mad Max game. I don't remember how quickly the gas goes down or anything.
It seems like his bike in this game goes down pretty fast. Like every time he had to stop in like a section, he needed to refill somehow or another. You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's ubiquitous. There's gas cans everywhere. So, I mean, I guess if there's different difficulties, I'm sure gas is more few and far between. But
Yeah.
I just thought it was a pretty cool mechanic of the game. I like not just GTA. I'm gonna go 500 miles an hour all the way around the map 17 times before my car blows up.
Yeah,
So,
there's not many games that require you to get fuel for any vehicle. Like Mad Max is one. I'm actually looking through my game list right now. Final Fantasy 15 was also another one where you had a car and it did have a gas gauge. I think it went down very, very slowly.
yeah.
To not necessarily detract from the story too much, but like if you drove
Yeah.
everywhere, you would have to stop and get gas every so
They
often.
didn't rely on that.
No.
Pretty much. This game, it seems like it relies heavily. Like,
Yeah.
if you get stuck somewhere, you're walking and there's hordes, and you kind of fucking get wrecked. So, the bike takes damage as you fall. Like if you take if you go off the road at all and then drop down like a little cliff or something, the bike takes damage. You have to repair the bike, and you have to find repair parts for that. I like that as well. It just makes sense. You're gonna go around, you're gonna fuck your stuff up anyway. The driving of the bike looks a bit janky when he was moving around. Again, I didn't play it. I was watching someone else stream it, so I need to actually play it to feel it. But it seems like how the driving was in Grand Theft Auto 4,
God, I fucking hated that.
right? It seems like it's like that. It seems like it's really unresponsive. You need to like fucking crank that joystick or whatever, your left arrow, to really get into a turn or something. But once he's actually moving around, it looks a little bit better. But once he's starting out and kind of just trying to weave around trees and stuff, it looks just really janky. So
Yeah.
it relies a lot on stealth killing. I noticed
Which
he had a little,
makes sense for like a zombie-esque game.
Yeah,
I like that.
he had a little pocket knife or a little Bowie knife, or whatever you want to call it, and he just would go up, human or zombie, and put him down.
Is there many zombie games where it relies heavily on stealth that you
Last of
can
Us.
think of? Last of Us, is that it?
Last of Us is extremely stealth reliant.
Like a lot of zombie games I think of like Resident Evil and stuff is just like go through
Guns blazing,
guns blazing essentially, or just run around them. Like
Dying Light, you just have to parkour around them and shoot them.
Dead Island, same way.
Yep. Just shotgun, pretty much. Yeah, no.
Like I can't think of many where it's stealth based zombie-esque. So that sounds interesting.
These aren't zombies. They're freakers, Matt.
They're essentially zombies.
Excuse you? Yeah, exactly. Just like clickers aren't zombies. Come on. Yeah, they are. So I was watching him do a couple like just combat fights just with his knife, and the freakers seem to dodge some of your attacks.
All right.
Like if you just spam, the slash, they'll eventually like dodge one and like come at
All
you.
right.
So you can't just kind of spam your attack. You have to like attack, come back, attack, draw back.
All right.
So it actually seems like they have some kind of I don't know, sense of awareness. I
Yeah.
guess you can say. The character movement I wrote down was very, very, very similar to The Last of Us. The way he crouches and moves, and I'm moving really quick. There's a little box there with some gears on it. I'm just gonna grab it and move and keep moving. It's almost the same like sound when he grabs it. Like he just kind of.
All right.
And it's not to say it's a bad thing. I
Yeah.
really like the way how Last of Us played. So, you can loot like cars stuck on the side of the road. So say if there's a trunk that's not popped open, it's closed, you can get your knife and you can just kind of jimmy it open. And you can maybe find supplies and stuff there. But you can also set off car alarms. So I'm guessing once you break into a car, you can attract more freakers, which is fucking cool because that's how I would imagine it would be, you know?
Yeah.
I was watching one mission he was doing with, I guess, Nero. It's one of the, I don't know if it's like a kind of like a federal agency or something in the game.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're like the bad guys. I'm not entirely sure. But their AI seems like hot garbage. He was like throwing rocks at them, and they were just like, "What was that?"
So
Maybe it's nothing.
so
Like literally
typical
pelting them.
typical
Yeah.
AI garbage.
Typical AI, I guess.
Like that's one of those things in like Fallout and Skyrim when you kill someone that's standing right next to someone, the other guy's like, "What was that?" And it's like, "Oh, must have been the wind," and it just goes back to like sitting there or something. It's like
Your buddy Tom is dead.
your guy is sitting right next to you with his head clearly off his head or off his shoulders,
Yeah.
and you're gonna say it's the wind? Like,
Nah, he was like that when I showed up today. So yeah, the AI seems just fucking terrible. He had to replay the same mission like 6 times because he was just trying to see how far he can go with it, and like literally just like standing up, throwing a rock, and getting back down, and it was like, it must have been nothing. I was like, come on. And last thing I wrote down, this map looks pretty large, fairly large, a lot to explore. It opens up kind of like Breath of the Wild did, and maybe like Horizon Zero Dawn. It's all covered in cloud coverage, and once you go through it and pass through it and explore a little bit, it opens up. You can actually see down on it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So you can't necessarily see everything as you just start out. So it seems pretty large, easily traversable with the bike and with the gas situation. It seems fun. If it goes on a sale within the next couple months, I will probably pick it up.
All right.
Because it'll be a fun game just to cool. I found a shotgun. I'm gonna go blast some of the fucking zombies in the head. But the hordes seem cool.
Yeah, I feel like I remember hearing some of the one streamer I was watching say it didn't feel super polished.
Oh no.
Like it felt like it was clunky or glitchy at times. Didn't feel super polished. But then another streamer I was watching, he was like, the side missions like make this game.
I was gonna say
if you spend the time and just don't go through for the story and actually like invest in like I guess the side stuff, he's like it makes the game more fun to sit down and play.
That's what the one streamer was saying too. It doesn't rely heavily on it, but it's beneficial to do the side missions and stuff too. So
yeah,
it's heavily involved in the game. The hordes, dude. Do you see many hordes?
I saw one where the one guy was getting chased and he was just like running away from a huge horde coming behind him.
Yeah.
So I mean, it looks interesting.
There are 3. The streamer I was watching ran into 3 hordes each time he died. So.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to him. I think I had to hop off to go to work or something as he was doing it. So.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's gonna be like you just have to get away from them, or if like maybe end game, or maybe later on in the game, if you have enough ammo or Molotovs, you can just kind of pepper them with Molotovs, turn around, shoot, run, shoot, something like that. I don't know if you can kill them all, but that is cool. I do enjoy that. Well, I enjoyed watching him try to get away. I mean, he was doing some cool shit, climbing on buses and stuff, but like, you know, they can climb too, so.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of almost like Dying Light, where they took a normal zombie game, but like Dying Light, they took the thing where it's like it's nighttime, they change or whatever, and shit goes down. If you're out here not in a safe zone, you're either gonna have to be very strong, smart, or just fucking book it.
Book it or stealthy as shit.
Yeah.
Dude, the more I watch people play like this, Days Gone and like whatever other zombie games and shit, I want to go back and play Dying Light.
Dying Light was
Dying
fun.
Light 2 is coming out soon.
Is there actual date for that yet?
I don't know if there's a date for it, but I would like to play Dying Light again and maybe get some more trophies in that because
no date given yet.
Okay. Does it? Do you know if Dying Light, the first one, any online trophies?
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck it.
I know there's at least one where it's like do something with 3 other people.
Yeah. Fuck that. Never mind.
Take part in 10 co-op challenges or competitions.
I mean, could you just take part in them and easily lose them just to get the trophy, or?
I mean, it says take part in 10, so yeah.
Just take part and die. Take part and die.
I know there's like a couple. Complete 1 quest in a co-op game. Complete 5 quests in a co-op game with the same 3 partners.
Oh. Interesting. So
that looks like it's it.
Okay, so no platinum for that game.
No
platinum. But I do want to go back and play that. The parkour aspect was pretty fucking cool.
I remember the grapple hook was pretty cool in that game too.
Yeah.
Like that made traversing at night much easier because me and my buddies would just full out sprint through the city and just grapple up onto roofs and just jump off from building to building and just be like, I hope I can grapple that, and just throw it out.
Yep. Yeah. But
So.
when the guy came over with the loudspeaker and said, like, night's coming and get inside or whatever, it gave me chills every time. So
yeah, in the beginning it was like, okay, we gotta fucking move, but at the end it was like, we're good. We can run. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So
until someone missed a jump and landed in the middle of like 17 zombies and went, oh fuck.
Yep.
And then died.
So I guess long story short, I guess Days Gone right now looks fairly decent. It looks like it's a fun game. If you're not worried about intense polish and insane investment into a story, it just looks fun to get around. And the voice acting seems terrible. Sorry. But anyway, I think it's pretty good. I'd give it a thumb up.
For not even playing it.
Yeah, no. From what I saw, from what I heard, part of the story, and it looks fun. I'd pick it up on a sale. So,
all right.
Anywho, I touched on World of Light here a little bit. I pretty much got to what I wanted to say with that, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much, I'm getting back into it and I'm just loving it. But I also downloaded and played the Yoshi's Crafted World demo.
Yeah. How was
this week? Very short demo. Only 1 level.
Oh.
And well, technically it was like 2 because you can play levels backwards and it's kind of a different level.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So it's very childish. Like very. It looks like a kid made every level, which I guess is what it's intended to do. It's made up. The levels are cardboard.
Yeah.
Everything's
I mean, look at the name, Yoshi's Crafted World.
Exactly. But it's like, I guess even playing, Mario games and all that shit now, I don't think I can play this game the whole way through. It's just too childish. You know what I mean? Everything's like, finger painted and painted in chalk. Everything's like that. But it's like, there's Poochie pups. It's just,
all right.
It kills you with like immaturity, but it was actually kind of fun. It's just a Mario game with Yoshi. Pretty much.
Yeah.
You go and collect coins. You can collect these flowers. I guess each level has 5 flowers. If you collect all of them, you get an additional coin or gem bonus or something. But I guess the thing I did like about it, once you beat the level, you have an option to either continue on beating levels forward, keep going forward, and beat the game. Or at the end, it's like, oh, well, actually, I mean, I'm looking for 3 dogs or something. Could you think you can go back in and maybe collect them and get them out of here? It's like, okay. So when you hop back in, the world literally just flips backwards, and you see everything from a different angle, and you kind of get a different level, pretty much, because you couldn't see what was in the backdrop. That was in the foreground is now in the backdrop. So there's a bunch of other stuff you go and collect. So you pretty much if you're gonna do it and complete, get all the flowers and stuff, you have to go forward and back. So pretty much every level is 2, which is cool. I did enjoy it. Just too childish. I don't think I can actually buy it and invest 10, 20 hours in it. So it is fun.
Understandable.
If you have a kid or something, I would highly suggest it. But anywho, that's all I got for gaming wise for my news.
Well, one thing.
They
announced Mario Maker is coming out June 28th.
Oh yes. That
So
looks fun.
I'm super excited for that.
Of course.
So
Montreal.
2 months from today, actually. Of
Oh shit!
the
You're
recording.
right.
Um,
How the fuck is it April 28th already, man? How?
That's a very good question.
Jesus, it feels like April didn't even happen.
It
Anyway.
feels like a lot of months didn't happen. Let's be real.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, mate.
All right. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we really delve into the meat and
the
potatoes?
meat and taters. No.
Of,
I was just thinking about kind of what games are going to come out still for Switch this year and stuff. So, but anyway, we can get to that different time. Everybody knows what I'm all about. But.
Of course.
Anywho, you want to get into it?
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
So from here on out, it will be
Spoilers.
heavily spoiler for Endgame. Possibly
It is
where
your
they're gonna
fault.
go after it too. After we talk about the movie in general, we'll see.
Yep.
Which I think if we talk about where it could go before we start the spoilers, it could give away some potential spoilers, even if we don't straight up say them. So, yeah. So,
Yep.
do we just want to try and start from the beginning of the movie and go from there? Because it was a long ass movie. It was 3 hours.
Dude, it was 3 solid fucking hours.
I will say it started off how a lot of people speculated. It would kind of start off with Hawkeye's family being dusted.
Yep.
A lot of people speculated that's why he was going to turn into Ronin, the essentially dark assassin type-esque character.
Yeah.
So a lot of people were speculating that before the movie even came out, and surprise, we're right.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else happened in the beginning? We saw,
Dude, immediately it opens with a tearjerker. Pretty much. It opens with Hawkeye's family getting dusted as
Yeah.
he's teaching his family.
as he's
or
teaching his daughter.
how
Yeah.
to shoot an arrow, and he's having a cookout with his family. He turns his back for 1 second.
Yeah,
His daughter's dusted,
and his
then
family's
he's
all gone.
gone. So that's how Hawkeye gets kind of infuriated, I guess I would say.
Yeah,
But dude, immediately opens up with the fucking I guess I didn't tear up at that part, but I was kind of, oh fuck, man. Could you just imagine? But yeah. My short-term memory, I just want to say, is terrible. I saw the movie yesterday, not even 24 hours
yeah,
ago,
it's
and just
stuff
like,
I'm
what the fuck?
trying to remember everything that happened. But then like it comes up. What does it say? I mean, does it immediately go to no?
No, it
'cause
doesn't go 5 years later. It
Then
goes to
it
the
shows
Avengers
Tony
headquarters.
and
Nebula. Yep.
Nebula in space, and they're on the ship and they're trying to fix it, and Tony Stark is trying to teach Nebula like that little football game that used to make out of paper and
Yeah.
all that.
She freaks
Um,
out. Yeah.
and
I
at
thought
one-
Tony had died at that point. When
Yeah,
she put him up in the chair, I thought he was dead.
I figured he wasn't dead because
That wouldn't be
it
the way
would
to
be
go.
way too early to kill him, and it wouldn't be a good
An
way for him
honorable
to go
way.
out.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden,
You
Captain
see
Marvel.
this bright light as he's sitting there in this chair, and Captain Marvel's there.
How does she know how to find him? Do you think that Pepper Potts was actually receiving his messages somehow or another?
So that's one thing that's speculated, is that Pepper Potts was getting his messages, and she put out whatever
Distress signal or something.
distress signals and stuff like that. And who knows, maybe with Iron Man's armor, he was also able to just put out a distress signal in general.
That's
Of
true.
some sort of frequency, and she just picked it up and was able to track it through that.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Yeah.
ultimately brought him back to Earth with Nebula. And I don't know
She
if it was
flew him back.
CGI or if Robert Downey Jr. did that, but they made him look really skinny when he first got back to Earth.
Oh yeah, they made him look pale. skinny, very
Yeah, like they did.
frail in
Yeah,
general.
like because in the movie he's like food ran out like 4 days ago or
Water
something.
ran out.
Yeah,
No,
and like
about
when in the scene when he first gets back to Earth, he looks very skinny, and I don't know if that was like
he's hooked up to an IV.
yeah.
So. Good job with CGI or that dieting for that. I'm sure is terrible.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I could assume so.
I can attest to that.
But yeah, and then Captain Marvel like talks to them, and they're like, you know, I can't stick around here. Like I have a whole galaxy or universe or whatever that's experiencing everything that happened here.
Everywhere.
Yeah. She's
I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
'Cause
she's
you're the only
like,
person who can do that.
they have you guys here to help with this. Like other planets don't have heroes to help, so like I need to be out there.
Marvel.
Which I thought was,
Captain Marvel.
huh?
I don't like Captain Marvel.
Why?
I just don't. I don't know. Like all of a sudden, you know, in her movie, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here, but in her movie, like all of a sudden, she needed her mask to like breathe in space, and all of a sudden, like, oh, I have powers. Cool. I can just fly into the fucking atmosphere and not need to breathe. I mean, I just thought it was kind of cheesy.
I mean, her powers range depending on the writer, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But then, is that when they do 5 years later? Then,
pretty much. You know, Captain America's isn't host, but he's like a leader of like a top.
I thought that was 5 years later.
Support group, I guess.
That's 5 years later, right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So hang on. We missed one thing then.
Fuck, man. Dude, where is my memory
So
at?
before it goes 5 years later, they're like, you know, when Thanos did the snap, this big power surge went off. Nothing like it, and they're like 2 days ago, happened again.
Oh shit!
On
How do we
this
fucking
planet.
forget about this?
So they find out where Thanos is, and they get there, and immediately as they come in, they all attack him pretty much. Like I saw someone equate it to SEAL Team 6 going in for Osama bin Laden, like just one after another, just like almost calculated attacks. And Thor comes in and just fucking cuts off his arm. It was like, oh fuck, like
we need to get the gauntlet off his hand. No, we need to chop his fucking arm off.
Yeah, it was like, all right, so this is what it's gonna be like. All right, and then he's like, they're like, where are the stones? He's like, I snapped them out of existence. They're gone.
You just used them 2 days ago. Banner's like, you used them 2 days ago, right here. I used the stones to destroy the stones. Almost killed them. You can see Thanos, like you can see him. He was barely hobbling up his own steps at the garden where he was at.
I will say, from Thanos's mindset, pretty smart fucking move.
Yeah. So no one can
like
undo what I just
he got
did.
his goal done by using them. He's obviously smart enough to know that if someone else gets them, they could reverse it. So, fuck it, let's destroy them.
My God, how did I forget that scene? I didn't forget.
And then
I just forgot the sequence.
I don't remember what they say, but then Thor just fucking beheads him, cuts his head right off.
Thor fucking decapitates Thanos.
And I was just like, holy fuck. Like,
I turned to Ashley. I was like, I did not see that coming.
No. And I was like, all right, so Thanos was in the movie for a whole 5 minutes.
Yep.
Like, all right. So it's going to be a movie about getting the stones back. All right. All right, finding a way to get the stones back or somehow deal with this. Okay.
Which it is.
Yeah.
I mean.
Which I think it was cool because it was kind of a heist movie in a way, which we'll get into in a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it goes 5 years later.
I didn't expect that either. Like that much time has passed.
I heard speculation. I heard speculation 5 years because like people were like looking at trailers and stuff and were seeing Black Widow with red hair and Tony Stark was kind of like graying a little bit and not necessarily like his normal hair color. So a lot of people were like, it's probably gonna take place in the future.
Yeah. May I take this moment to say Scarlet Witch? Elizabeth Olsen.
Oh yeah.
The actress. She's the older sister or younger sister of the Olsen twins.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yep.
I had no idea
Yep.
that she was related to the Olsen twins.
Yep.
That is crazy. I looked that up. I was like, huh. Well, at least there's. At least
but
she got something
then-
good out of it. So
Then
you know,
Scott.
Captain America has his little support group and just pretty much he
Yeah.
tells people that they have to move on. And he goes back to the Avengers headquarters with what's her face, Scarlett
Black Widow.
Johansson,
Yeah, Black Widow.
Black Widow, and they sit down, they talk. Like Black Widow had just gotten off a conference call with the other Avengers, kind of War Machine, pretty much Captain Marvel,
Captain Marvel, Rocket, Raccoon.
Rocket, and somebody else I forget.
Nebula?
But, Nebula, maybe. Pretty much saying if you heard anything, let me know. And they get off the phone. They haven't heard anything. She starts to cry, and then Captain shows up, and it's just like he keeps telling people to move on, but how can they at this point? So
Well, even before that, War Machine stays behind for like a minute.
a couple seconds, yep.
And she's like, what's an update on you? And he's like, well, Mexican cartel is all dead, yada, yada, yada. And
Is it another game?
she's just like, all right, let me know where he's going next. And right when she said that, I was like, she's talking about Hawkeye. She's talking
Yep.
about Ronan, who's going around just killing bad people just because he feels like he doesn't have a purpose anymore. And that's the only thing to make him feel, I guess, like he has a purpose.
kill bad people to kill. Just
but-
to kill.
Ant-Man also got like
Scott
quantum realm.
Lang. He
He's
gets
a fucking
dude,
rat.
a fucking rat.
The real MVP in this movie is that rat.
Dude, let's stop all experimentation on rats and mice because these guys serve a purpose. Let them out there. They
Rats.
can let people out of a quantum realm. Okay? Dude, again, that was just the same thing as like, oh my god, Thanos got killed. Like, I was like, a fucking rat?
Yeah.
A rat just happened to step on the right button in that old
Yep.
19 whatever fucking band that had the quantum generator thingy in it. I'm not sure what you call that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either way, the little mice rat steps on a button, activates it, and shoots Scott Lang out of the back into this lockup that has everybody's kind of dusted stuff in it. It
Yeah.
seems.
And Scott makes a point, how long has it been? And they're like, it's been 5 years. And he goes, okay, because for me in there, it was 5 hours.
Yep.
And he's like, this is where he starts getting like all crazy and they start looking at him weird. And he's like, what if we can control time in there and we can go back in time?
What if we enter at one point in time and exit at a different point in time? Not really
Yeah.
time travel per se, but yes, time travel.
Yeah. Which,
He's like, I know it sounds ridiculous.
and
I
they're
know it
like,
sounds ridiculous."
so you're talking about time travel. And he's like, no, I'm talking,
Yeah.
yes,
like a time
I'm
machine.
talking about time travel.
Yeah. And I know it sounds ridiculous. And then fucking Scarlett Johansson's like, I receive emails from a raccoon. No.
Yeah.
It does not sound ridiculous. So
So then we were like, all right, like we might have a way, if this works out, to
get this
go back in time, get the stones, and fix it.
Yeah.
So
And
they go to Stark.
It's Scott Lang's idea.
Yeah.
It's Ant-Man's idea. And it works.
Yeah.
Long story short. But we'll get to that.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. This is all spoiler. We're talking about the movie verbatim.
But then they
Anyway.
go to Stark, and Stark's like, I have a family, I have a daughter. I
Can't
can't,
do
just do this. And then that night, they shows him at his
Is
computer.
it that night? Or
That night or maybe a couple days later.
I'm guessing that'd be a couple days before he figured out time travel. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are speculating it was something he was already kind of working on. And then kind of put it to the side. And then when they came up and were like, because when
Quantum.
Scott Lang talks to him about it, he's like, but have you thought about this, that, or the other thing?
Yeah,
And
it
like
seems
he
was really
immediately
thinking
brings
about
up
it.
points about time travel. And either Scott, I don't remember what Scott's reaction is, but he's like, he either says yes or no, but it shows that Tony Stark was kind of already in the process of kind of working on it. Because he already knew of certain things that could be issues.
Yeah.
And then like that night, like somehow, or one night, he just figures it out and just is like, holy shit.
Model this shape and pick this particle right here. How does that work? Oh shit.
Yeah.
As Donna repeats it.
Yeah.
Oh shit. But
Um,
so he figures it out. he goes back to Avengers headquarters pretty much.
Where- Well, so after they talk to Stark, they're like, "We're gonna need someone else." Very smart.
Oh, how did I forget this? This is probably one of my funniest scenes in the movie for me.
Yeah, and it just shows them in a diner from behind, and you just see this big hulking guy.
Almost
And
like
it
the Hulk.
It ends up being Bruce Banner / the Hulk, because he merged them two together to make Professor Hulk, which a lot of people were speculating was going to happen in this movie, and it did.
Professor Hulk.
Which I was super
Put
happy
the
about.
brains and brawn together.
And he did a very good job at being like a comedic relief in that scene.
Yeah. Yep. He gets a selfie with a couple kids run up, get a selfie with him, and then Ant-Man's like, "You guys want a picture with me?" They're like,
No.
No. He's like, "All right, now they're literally saying no. They don't want a picture with me." Banner's like, "Get a picture with them." And Ant-Man's like, "Just take the goddamn phone."
Yeah.
That was one of the funniest things. Me and the guy next to me cracked up with that. So.
But Banner's
You
like,
get
yeah,
Professor
like
Hulk-
this
Professor
isn't
Hulk.
this isn't my forte. Like we can try, but like I don't.
He doesn't know much
it's out of
about
my
it.
realm. Which apparently also one of the reasons he was able to merge himself with the Hulk is because after Infinity War, I don't remember the exact reason, but he was like, we need to figure this out, work together, and like somehow merge them together through experiments and stuff. But then they go back to Avengers headquarters and start working on time travel, which was pretty funny, in my opinion. Uh-oh. My computer just
What's
froze
up?
for
What
a
up?
second, it looked like. Yeah.
You good now? Okay.
Why is it doing that? Alright.
Just keep smashing my button.
But yeah, they go back to Avengers headquarters and figure out time travel, which was a pretty funny scene to me.
Yeah. Yep. Scott Lang pisses himself as he goes from baby to elderly to teenager to back to himself. And he's like, I don't know if I peed my pants, baby me peed my pants,
Yeah.
older me peed my pants, or just
Which
me
was really funny.
peed my pants.
And
Oh yeah. Yep. And then
yeah,
Iron Man shows up. Pretty much. Cap walks outside, like kind of feeling a little bit defeated, it seems, because they're kind of just jumping all over the place. And then he comes back. Iron Man comes out, tells him he kind of figured it out, and
yeah.
at that point he gives him his shield back. Pretty much, which was pretty epic. He picks something up and he flips it over. A bunch of toys fall off, like kid toys and stuff.
Yeah.
And hands to his shield. So good stuff.
Yeah.
So long story short, they figure it out, and they are able to kind of
But-
control when and where they can go.
The Hank
Which is
Pym,
where
the
the
Pym
heist
particles
comes
they have, they only have a certain amount. So essentially, they get one shot, so they need to figure
Limited
out
amount.
where
So
all the stones are at certain times, and they figure out
where and when?
that, what was it? The Space and the Mind Stone are both in New York. Yeah, so the
three
Space
stones
and
in
the
New York
Mind
at one
Stone
time,
were
depending
in
on-
the first Avengers.
Where you want?
So they were together at very end because there was the Scepter and the Tesseract. And then they find out the Time Stone was also in New York
Yep.
with the
Yeah, because Doctor Strange was there.
I can't
Or
remember
no,
her name off the top of my head. The
What was her name?
Doctor Strange's mentor that teaches him in the movie, the bald lady.
Yeah. The bald lady who's very, very
Yeah, but essentially she's in
Buddha-esque,
she's at the Sanctum Sanctorum
but not that.
or whatever it's called in New York
Yep.
with
in New York.
the Eye of Agamotto and the
Yeah.
Time Stone.
So Hulk's tasked with
Um
yeah. So Hulk's tasked with getting the time stone back, and Cap and Iron Man are tasked with getting the other two.
yes.
Correct? The Tesseract and the Scepter. Okay. So, do you want to go over exactly? I mean, how they got
How they got what?
and everything. How they got all the stones? Because I can
I mean,
can literally
we can
just
just
rehash
hit
the whole
parts.
movie here.
Like I thought it was funny how when they go back in time to New York, they see themselves fighting, and they see Hulk
Yeah.
go by, like smashing a car, and they
Hulk.
like. There's obviously new scenes in this movie from like the previous movies,
Like,
like the part where the Hulk throws a car on top of
Yeah.
one of the Chitauri and it like keeps hitting it and jumps up on it and smashes it down to like a piece of paper.
just
And they just look at Banner and go, and Banner, smash. And he just like, he doesn't know what to do. Like he goes up and he like, he like
he was embarrassed.
bops a car and like pushes over a motorcycle and it's just like, what do I do?
Tosses it
Like,
slightly.
err.
Yep. It just seems a bit.
So that was pretty
barbaric.
funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did a good job at explaining time travel where they're like,
Hulk was great.
the ancient one, what's her name? She's like, yeah.
Yeah. So Hulk goes.
She
to
was
the
like,
Ancient
if
One
you take
to
the
get
time
the
stone from
the
here,
time
like
stone.
we're in a timeline
says,
right now.
"Fuck
If you
no."
take this time stone, which I used to help protect, this timeline, our reality, while your
Our
reality
reality.
might be safe, it's gonna destroy ours because
Mm-hmm.
we can't protect it then. And he's like, all right, well, what if after we use it, I bring it back? Yeah.
Yeah. What if I borrow it
And she was
and bring it
like,
back to this exact time?
she's like, I can't allow
Nope.
you to do that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can't,
And then
I can't base my
he brought up a
reality on
really good
promise,
point. He was like,
is what she said.
Doctor Strange gave this stone away.
Well,
But
Doctor Strange gave it to me.
no.
Wait,
He said he
just
gave it
to
away.
you?
He saw one chance of winning. Because he actually showed up to the place and was like, I'm looking for Doctor Strange. She's like, you're 5 years too early.
Yeah.
Which shows that she hasn't even met him yet, but she knows
Mm-hmm.
that he's going to succeed her, essentially. And she's like, yeah. And she's like,
Mm-hmm. And
he
the
gave it up.
Best. Of
He's
them.
supposed to be the best. There's a reason he did this. And she's like, all right, here you go. I'm trusting you with this.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah.
Oh, so Strange gave it to you? Nah, here you go. I was like, what? What the fuck? That's all the explanation. He didn't even need to explain the fact that he went through 14,605 possibilities. He saw one that won,
Yeah.
and this was part of it. He didn't even need to
Yeah,
say
he-
that. He just said Doctor Strange.
Because
gave it
she
away.
knows he's the best.
Well,
And,
if he
like,
did, okay, here you go.
he has a plan, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he gets the time stone back.
And then you see them go get back Iron Man and
Mm.
Cap go get back the Tesseract and the Scepter.
They fuck
But-
up getting the Tesseract back.
Getting the Scepter
by
back was
faking a
pretty
heart
cool.
attack for Iron Man. Getting the scepter back.
Which,
Captain
can
America
we talk about the
had to
joke
fight
Ant-Man
Captain
said
America.
with "That's America's ass" right there"?
Yeah.
It
Iron
doesn't
Man
look
said
that suit
something
doesn't
about,
make your butt look good or something.
There's not too flattering for your ass or your butt or something. He's like, as far as I'm
Yeah.
Scott Lang's like, as far as I'm
And
concerned,
then like
that's America's
after
ass or
Captain
something.
America fights Captain America, the future Captain America, the one from this movie's timeline, after the one that wins,
the
he's
one that's
like,
trying to get the stone back.
God damn, that is America's ass.
Yeah, he stuns him or something
Um,
with the scepter. He's like, that is America. Nice. Good
I-
stuff. So they get the
Mind
scepter
Stone.
back, which is what stone?
But
I'm sorry.
I do like how he gets
Mind
it back
Stone.
while he's like
and then they
the callback to Winter Soldier, where he's like, I'm taking it from here, from Supreme Leader or something. They kind of look at him weird, and he just leans over into the ear and
Mhm.
goes, "Hail Hydra," and they immediately are like, "Here you go."
Hail Hydra. Yep.
Like, I like that
Oh,
little
shit.
callback to Winter Soldier.
Okay, take it.
Yeah, I thought so too,
thought they
which
were
I
gonna
would
fight
have
in
been
the thing
okay
again.
with.
But
Um,
I would have been for it. Yeah. But the way he gets the other cap
him with
to
the
like kind of
pointy
let him go and kind of get the jump on him.
pokes him with the scepter.
What's up? No, he was
Oh,
getting choked
yeah.
out by Captain.
Yeah.
Our captain, our Cap was getting choked out by past Cap, and he's like, Bucky's still alive. And he's just like,
Yeah.
wait, what? So he's able to like grab the scepter, and just bop him, and kind of stun him. But that's how he breaks free of that. Which is I thought it was pretty cool too, because at
Correct.
that point in time, he doesn't know that Bucky's
He
alive,
thinks
right?
Bucky is dead at this
So-
point.
So, yeah.
And they fuck up getting the
Good
Tesseract
stuff.
back. They fuck up getting the
where
Tesseract
are
back.
we
It
at?
comes
Where are
out
we
of a briefcase. Loki grabs it and disappears. So this is where time travel
Yeah,
starts getting wonky, because in the movie they're like, time travel, whatever you do in the past doesn't affect the
Yes.
future. So I don't know. I'm guessing Loki
Yeah.
is dead still, but they said whatever happens in the past doesn't affect this future.
So he's
I
still
wanna
choked
say
out dead
so.
from Thanos in the beginning of.
But
Infinity
then I guess there might be another timeline
Okay.
where they still succeed,
War. I think he's alive.
but he's alive in a different timeline, maybe.
I was reading something
I don't
after
know.
the movie. I think he's still alive somehow, some way or another.
They
guess we'll find
I
out.
feel like they try to make time travel be like, you know, we just, because they said in the movies, they're like, why don't we just go back and kill baby Thanos? And they're like, whatever you do in the future isn't going to affect the past. And they're like, it's also funny because they're like, one,
Yeah.
that's really messed up, even though he does become a really bad being.
Yep.
But
It's
two, whatever we
Thanos.
do in the past doesn't affect the
Yeah.
future. War
Wasn't that
Machine?
Warhammer?
Yeah,
Or
I don't know.
I'm sorry, War Machine. Why did I say Warhammer? It's a video game. War Machine. He's like, why don't we just go back
Yeah.
to baby Thanos and just like, he just a little choking motion. He's like, that's
Yeah.
messed up, and you can't do
Um,
that because this is how time works. But so long story short,
And
they
they-
fucked that up, getting that.
Yeah, they
Tesseract
only
back.
had
So
enough
they have
to go back in time.
again.
And then come back to the present. But then Tony realizes, hey, the
And
Tesseract
Barco-wise.
was also being worked on with Hank Pym in this military base, just coincidentally. I don't know. They never reference it in any other movies, do they?
Yep.
They
In
just kind of like.
1970s.
I was trying to remember if they ever mentioned
yeah,
that in other
I was
movies.
kind
I
of
don't
confused
think
at
they.
that point.
Actually, I feel like I should watch
I don't know.
the Ant-Man movies again, because maybe there's at some point in one of the Ant-Man movies, Hank Pym mentions working with Tony or Howard Stark
Yeah.
in
Howard Stark.
a military base.
Dude, that was
Yeah.
a good scene.
And so then they go back in time to this military base, and which was a roller coaster of emotions. This
is
whole
Stanley's
part, because Stanley's last cameo was there. Which he just drives by a military base and says, "What, make love,
He's
not
a
war," or
hippie.
something.
Yeah, he puts a peace sign up. He's like, make
Yeah.
love, not war, man. And like a nice like old muscle car just speeds off.
And then
I was like, oh man, that was a tearjerker.
That's the
It wasn't
last
really a
one.
tearjerker. It was funny, but
Yeah.
it was just like it was so sad that that's gonna be his
Um,
last cameo. Thank you, Stan.
but then
Excelsior.
Tony goes down to find
But,
the Tesseract, and
Continue.
this guy walks around the corner and is like, "Oh, have you seen Professor Zola or something?"
Blah,
He's
blah.
actually one of Captain America's
Yeah.
villains. Tony's like, "No, I'm just whatever, like some guy from MIT or something." And the second the guy walked around the corner, I'm like, "That's
Yep.
gonna be his dad," like, without a doubt.
That's his dad.
And then like there's kind of like a heart to heart
Mhm.
that they had, and they're talking about like his dad was like, you know, my wife is pregnant. Yeah.
She's expecting, and pretty much
Yeah.
he's like, I have a kid, and they talk about how to raise a kid pretty much, and were you ready? He's like, no, just kind of figure things out as I go, and then
Yeah, and he's like,
he
"Thank you for
Tony
everything."
hugs him.
And
he's like,
Howard's like,
Yeah,
"What?"
he goes to Jarvis, his driver. He's like, have we met him before?
Which
He seems
I was actually
really
really excited when I
familiar.
saw the Butler, and I heard Jarvis. I was like, "That's an homage to the
Jarvis,
comics.
yeah.
That's fan servicey." Because
Yep.
like, if you didn't know the comics that Jarvis was originally just a butler and not an AI, people wouldn't necessarily understand it. Like my friend Hannah was sitting next to me, and she's like, "Who was that?" And I was like, "Jarvis was originally a butler, not an AI." And she was like, "Holy
Jarvis.
fuck!" And I'm like, "Yeah." I was like,
Yeah.
that was one of the fan servicey things. I was like, just like made me
Yep.
smile a little bit, and I was like, all right, I can get behind that. It's like a little
Yeah.
homage. And then, yeah,
Ashley was confused during that scene. She's like, who?
Yeah.
I was like, that's his dad.
Yeah.
She's like,
um,
and
then-
she went back.
Captain accidentally, while he's being chased after getting the Pym particles, goes into an office to get away from like military police and runs into Peggy Carter's office. Which the second he walked into the office, I was like,
Yep. And just
know who we're gonna see here.
Yeah. And then he just has a
through
little,
a window.
he just kind of stares at her awkwardly.
Yeah, I don't
through,
know
like,
how
you
she
know,
didn't
they're
see
like
him.
6 inches apart, pretty much on either side of the glass. And I was like, how
Yeah.
the fuck do you not see him awkwardly creeping on you right now? But
Yeah.
yeah, that stirred up some emotion for him, clearly. And long story short, he gets out. They get both these stones back there, and then
Yeah.
that kind of wraps up their
And then
heist. Stonewalls.
oh fuck, we forgot about it before the heist when they run into Thor.
Right.
Essentially, Thor has become an alcoholic on an island.
Oh Jesus Christ, man! How
They go to get Thor,
My memory is fucked up.
and
Anyway,
they walk
yes.
into the house. Rocket
They need
Raccoon
Thor's help.
and Professor Hulk walk into the house to get Thor, and he has like a
Professor Hulk.
huge gut, which I thought was pretty funny.
Huge beer gut. He's just
And
drinking.
who
and
else?
eating
Who was there?
Candy and shit.
Who was in the house with him?
The one of the guys
Korg.
from Thor Ragnarok that was in the battle arena.
Korg.
Um.
It was like
Korg
Korg
is his
and
name?
Meek.
Okay.
Meek.
The blue rock
But they're
guy.
both there
I don't know who the little
playing
guy
like
was, but
fucking Fortnite.
Korg's funny. Fuck.
And Korg's like,
Fortnite. They're playing
Thor.
Fortnite.
the little
drunk.
kid's on the mic again. Call me an asshole. And like he gets on the mic and he's like, listen here, you little shit. I'm the god of thunder. I will come into your basement
This is
and
Thor.
fucking dismember your arms or something.
He says something fucked up. Like, I'll fly over to your house and do something. He's just like, that's what I thought. And
Yeah.
he gave it. And Korg's like, thanks, Thor. He puts the headset back on and keeps playing. But
Yeah. I was really
that
happy
was
to
a
see
very
Korg
comic relief scene.
and
I couldn't
Meek
believe
alive.
they
Yeah.
kept him
Which was
fat
pretty
the
funny.
whole movie. Thor, by the way. I thought like as soon as he got like his thunder
But
back, you could just be like,
Thor
"Nope, no, I'm ripped
and
again." But
Rocket
no,
go to
guess
Asgard to
not.
get the Reality Stone, the Aether, from Thor 2. Which there was
Yes.
an emotional scene in it
Which
where he
is a
runs
terrible
into his
movie.
mother though.
Ugh.
That was kind of emotional where like the mom was like,
yes. Yeah.
"What happened to your eye?" And yeah,
It was funny.
the mom was like, "What happened
was
to your eye?"
funny,
And he's
but
like,
also
"Oh,
emotional.
nothing. You remember the one time?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "I know you're not the Thor from this time." She's like, "I'm a witch. Like, come on, don't lie to me."
In the future, he's like, no, I'm not.
Um,
Yeah, I'm totally from the
then,
future. I'm totally from
right
the future.
before like they get the
Yeah.
Reality Stone, I thought it was really cool how he like holds up his hand and like Rocket is just like, what are we, what's going on? And all of a sudden Mjolnir comes and he's like, all right, let's go, and he takes Mjolnir back to the future.
Yep.
I was like, all right,
Yep.
that's pretty dope. That was pretty
I'm
dope.
still worthy.
Um,
Yeah, even though he's fat as fucking crazy. But Rocket
Yeah.
had to use some kind of special extraction tool to get
Jane
Reality
Foster.
Stone
Yeah.
from Natalie
Um,
Portman. I forgot her name. Jane. It didn't
Yeah.
show how they actually got it though. He just kind of walked up behind her stealthily.
and
then
then
just kinda cut.
Nebula and
I got it. I
War
got it.
Machine go to get Power Stone. So this is where the plot really starts getting complicated with time travel because
Yeah.
Nebula and
shit
War
thickens.
Machine go to get the Power Stone back in whenever Guardians 1 took place, and like, yeah,
2014.
and
They're at
because
Morag in
Nebula's like
2014.
part computer, her network like starts freaking out that there's two of her in the time, and on Thanos' ship, they see a
Back in
memory. They
2014.
see
Yeah.
her view of talking to War Machine, and they're like, "What the fuck is this? Like, what's going on? What is this?" And
Yep.
they pinpoint it to Morag, and they're like, "All right, well, let's go see what's going on." And they see the memory of, because she was there when Thanos got killed in the beginning of the movie, and they're like, "All right, well, either you're a traitor or something weird is going on." So they're like, "Let's go figure this shit out."
Yeah. Yep. So pretty much Nebula's
Yeah,
memory travels back in
and
time
connects to
with
this network,
her at
and
the same time, kind of. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So they're able to see what's going on.
Yeah.
And pretty much brings Thanos back into the movie, which is
and War Machine
huge.
gets out with the Power Stone, and Nebula gets
Ugh.
attacked right before she travels back to the future or present, whatever you want to call it,
Mhm.
and gets captured.
So she's pretty much she's
Yeah.
prisoner. There's 2 Nebulas now, and
Yeah, still
Evil
not
Wish
Gamora pre-Guardians. This was before she was
still
Guardians,
serving
so she was
things.
still kind of working with Thanos.
Yes.
And then
Yep.
yeah,
It seemed still reluctantly,
Um,
but still working with them. But Soulstone.
yeah, that was an emotional scene
Holy fuck.
because Black Widow and Hawkeye go to get it,
God damn it, man.
and
They
yeah, they're
literally have
both trying to
fight each other
sacrifice
to be the one to
themselves because Black
sacrifice
Widow's like,
themselves.
I have nothing in this world right now. It's like, you have a family, like, live for the family, and Hawkeye's like, I can't let you do that. Like, yeah,
He doesn't have the family
but
back.
in
yet,
their
though,
mind, they're like, we can get your family
but
back, like,
potentially.
you know, yada yada yada. And there's like probably a solid like 5 minutes of them fighting. It felt like. It felt like it.
No, it definitely wasn't 5 minutes, but it felt like an eternity because
Yeah,
you didn't want that scene to end
And-
because you didn't want either of them to be dead. Because pretty much
They're-
I think
they're said to
Soulstone
be permanent.
sacrifices are
Yeah.
permanent,
well, that was time travel.
except for Gamora apparently. So, goddamn, it's getting bright. Yeah, but then couldn't they have ultimately just used the
Yeah,
time
but
stone
that's
again to
getting
go
real
back and get her
crazy.
back and bring her?
Come on,
You
let's
know,
be real.
like,
That's because they went back in time to 2014 to do it. So
yeah,
that would have
So,
been
didn't they go back like a year
five
prior, just bring her back that one.
10 years prior? Because Infinity War,
Yeah.
roughly movies take
'Cause they
place
went
in the same year as
2023.
us. And at this point, it's 5 years later than Infinity War, which took place in 2018. So it would have been like 2023 roughly. So it would have been like
So
9-10 years
2023.
later.
Yeah.
God, time travel fucking is weird.
Fucking dude, as soon as he gets to travel, I was like, God damn it, fucking like X-Men and shit. I can't deal with this right now. I gotta watch the movie
but
like
yeah,
2 or 3
so
times now to be.
She
Fully
sacrifices
understand.
herself for the Soul
But
Stone.
anyway,
And yeah,
after an epic battle, and then Ronan, Hawkeye, whatever you want to call him,
And goes
Clint
back
gets
to
the Soul
present.
Stone.
so they all
He
like
goes back.
regroup and they're like very sad because
Mhm.
obviously they're like, where's Black Widow? And he's like, she's gone and all that stuff, which was very sad. First
Pretty
death of
much.
the movie besides Hawkeye's family getting dusted, I think. Right? Okay, you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, Hawkeye kills like 67 people. Yeah, she's the 1st Avengers permanent death in the movie, I believe. Correct.
Yes.
So she's done.
Which was pretty sad.
She's done.
And
Scarlett Johansson.
then they
Black
show
Widow,
him working
done.
on, you know, the gauntlet and stuff, which a lot of people speculated Iron Man would make a new gauntlet because which he did.
Yep. Which she did.
Infinity
all the Soul
Stones.
Stones perfectly fit into it.
All the
and,
Soul Stones, the whole one
I'm
Soul
sorry.
Stone.
Of all the Infinity Stones,
Um,
including the Soul Stone. Jesus, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. All the stones fit into it, of course, and then they kind of argue over who's going to be the one to wield it and do the snap. But ultimately, it's decided that it's mostly gamma radiation that's given off
Yeah.
from the snap, and that Hulk has to wear it. And Hulk
Yeah.
ultimately does. It
But
fucks him up pretty good though.
When they came
But,
back, the evil Nebula came back.
as this is
or-
happening,
instead of the good Nebula. So like she's like able to like fuck with the time travel device thing and essentially bring Thanos' whole ship back. I don't,
Thanos.
like a lot of people were like, how was he able to bring back like his whole army? Because like obviously they use the suits and stuff. And it's like he didn't have to figure that out within 30 seconds. Like to time travel back to that time, he had like 9 years
No.
to figure it out, essentially. So it could have been like
yeah, pretty
2
much.
days to figure it out, or it could have been
Or it could
3
just be like
years to figure it out. But like,
they just brought his ship, but he could have just told everybody, "Hey, meet me 9 years from now
That
on
too.
Earth
yeah.
with everybody. Bring everybody."
Well, his whole ship
Yeah.
came out,
I didn't think
so
about
there
that
had
till
to be
right
something
now.
with getting
He
the
could've
whole
just-
ship. Because the time travel
His
they were
whole-
going
his
in the
whole
suits, which
ship.
had the PIM particles in it. So somehow they had to get it to
Oh
do
yeah,
the whole
true,
ship,
true,
which,
right.
like I said, they had essentially 9 years to figure it out.
Fucking time travel, man.
But yeah, then
Fucking time
that's
travel.
where it's like the second the ship
So, yeah,
you see her
yeah.
like fucking with the device, it's like shit's about to go down, and the ship comes out, destroys the facility, and then Scott.
Like,
Yeah, Scott Lang's
fucking
like looking outside and seeing birds, and he's like,
the facility.
guys, I think it worked. And all of them fucking start firing on the facility, and it's like, oh, fuck.
Oh, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, Hulk snaps everybody back into existence right before this.
Yeah,
That's a pretty good plot point we missed. So right before the ship comes in, Hulk
and you hear a
snaps
phone
and
vibrate,
brings everybody back.
and it's Hawkeye's
So it
phone,
seems.
and it's his wife. And it was like, fuck.
His acting in that
Like-
part was fucking amazing. The way like he like almost like had to catch his breath when he sees the phone ringing. And he
Like,
says
I
hello.
knew
I was like, oh my
they were
God.
obviously going to get everyone back because
Emotional.
Spider-Man has a movie that's coming out this summer, and Doctor Strange is going to have a sequel
Yeah,
most
dude.
likely, and
Black
Panther has a sequel in the works. Like
Mhm.
all these characters
Guardians
that got
3.
dusted, yeah, Guardians. All these characters
Guardians
that got
3.
dusted are having movies come out, so it's like obviously somehow something happens where they get them back. But it was still kind of emotional seeing that
Mhm.
phone and seeing him
So
be the one to ultimately figure out that it worked.
that it worked. Yeah. Which
And then
so
this
amazing.
is I think
So good.
this
So
this
good, so good,
last
so good.
however long it was, pretty much from the second Hulk snaps to the end of the movie was my favorite part of the entire past 10, 11 years.
By far, because it's like, because it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's cool. What's going on? And all of a sudden, it just fucking goes up and
Essentially,
stays there. Like holy
the-
shit.
Thanos comes down with like Nebula or with Gamora and stuff, and he just fucking like he's like, "Bring me the gauntlet," and he just like puts his like dual whatever it's called his sword with like two blades on
Nebula.
it essentially. He just puts it down,
Yeah.
takes
it's
off his helmet and sits down. He's like, "Bring it to
double-bladed
me,"
sword.
and he just sits there.
What are you gonna do? And Nebula's like, "What are you gonna do?"
Yeah.
He's like,
And
"I'm gonna
then
wait."
uh,
He's like, okay, holy shit.
Cap, Iron Man, and
Prove your
Thor
loyalty,
like come
pretty
out of
much.
the destroyed facility and just see him sitting there. I don't remember if it was Thor. Is it Thor that's
Yep.
like it's a trap?
Thor,
You know, they're like,
Thor was standing there.
yeah, we know.
Yeah. Oh, we know. We know. Yep.
Yeah.
But we can't just stand here all day.
So
you
they
know,
start
so
fighting Thanos,
gotta
which
go
was
in.
an awesome fight scene. Because Thor is using fucking both Mjolnir and
yeah.
Stormbreaker. Yeah,
Stormbreaker. He's dual wielding Mjolnir and Stormbreaker.
that fight was fucking
And,
awesome, and you know they're
he's
going
just
back
kinda
and
fucking
forth,
shit
and
up.
you see like the cool things of like Iron Man set up his armor to receive the charge from Thor to shoot even more powerful beams and stuff. And it was like seeing that
Yeah.
kind of like teamwork was just
Fucking-
like, all right, like I can get behind this because in the first Avengers, Thor
Yep.
essentially short circuits Iron Man's armor. So seeing like Iron Man
Yeah.
almost adapt to it, so that way you
Now
can be like,
he-
all right,
he
now I can
programmed it
take
to-
his electricity and
Yep.
lightning and just supercharge me.
And use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wrecks Thanos a
And
little
then
bit there.
Thanos just starts,
Pretty much.
huh?
Ant-Man is going down.
Oh,
Ant-Man is going down to rescue War Machine
Rocket and Hulk, because Hulk is trying to hold
Rocket,
up the facility
um,
to keep Rocket and War Machine from drowning.
yeah.
It's just
Ronan,
running with the
aka
gauntlet.
Hawkeye, aka
Yeah.
Clint, gets the gauntlet and is running out under the rubble and trying to, fight these evil
I think
demon
there's some
guys
form
off.
of
I forget what they're
Chitauri. I don't
called.
know.
Thanos' army.
Yeah.
Whoever's with Thanos at that point in time. So he gets it out, and
Yeah.
he gets the gauntlet back on the playing field, and they need to get it to the quantum realm so they can return the stones. Pretty much.
And
so that's where we're at. But this part made me tear
all of
up.
a sudden,
with
Thanos
such
just starts
joy
wrecking shit.
and
Like he starts kicking
happiness.
Iron Man's ass. He like destroys Captain America and launches him like 100 yards backwards. And then
He breaks his shield in half, pretty much.
Thor is like getting the shit kicked out of him on the ground,
Thor's
and like he gets
something.
Stormbreaker and it's like pushing Stormbreaker into Thor's chest, Thanos's, and then all of a sudden you just see the hammer lift up, and like the second it lifted up, I was like, I know where this is going. And you see the hammer hit
I didn't like
Thanos
this
and
part.
come back, and fucking Captain America is holding Mjolnir, which was very fan servicey, but
Yep.
it got a huge fucking smile on my face to see that, because The thing is, he's held it in the comics. And seeing him budget in Age of Ultron, everyone was like, could he actually lift it, or was it like he's only partly worthy at that point? Like, was he just not lifting it to make Thor be like, I'm the only one that can wield it, that type of thing? So like seeing him all of a sudden have it was a huge fan service, and entire theater cheered. I teared up a little bit when I saw it.
I mean, I can get how you can wield it, but like how it flies over to him.
Well,
like, I think
so I'm gonna have to look this up.
Do that. I know. In the comics.
Well, I think in the very first Thor, when Thor loses Mjolnir, you see Odin whisper to it, "Whoever is worthy, let them have the power of Thor."
Yeah.
They said it, I'm pretty sure, in the very first movie of Thor. Yeah. That whoever is worthy can lift it and have the power of Thor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's imbued by Odin. So I guess if he's worthy, though. I mean, if he's worthy, though, isn't every... So they're all fighting for... They're all fighting.
But I think it's
everything.
more...
They're fighting for...
Yes,
normal...
but I think it also comes from Steve Rogers' selflessness.
I mean, they're all selfless. Black Widow killed herself. I mean, she would have been worthy. Hawkeye was trying to kill himself. He would have been worthy.
You're digging too much into this, man.
Right?
All right. Here, I'll do a quick
I'll just
Google search. Why is Captain America worthy and not other people? Not other people.
Okay, no, that's fine. We can deviate from that. It's fine. So he was worthy. Whatever. I just think everybody else could have been worthy, and everybody else could have been
I mean, I think it's more of the selflessness. I mean, his
selflessness is just as much as everybody else's selflessness. Fucking Doctor Strange saw the outcome, and
maybe the hammer has to fucking choose. All right.
Gave the time stone away. That was.
I think it's said in at least the comics that hammer has its own mind.
So okay, wait. So it chose Captain America, but. So then Captain America takes Thor's power. Does Thor lose his power then because he's not worthy of Thor anymore? How could two people wield it?
How could two people drive the same car in a matter of a day?
They're not driving the same car at the same time.
Stormbreaker. Because in Thor, Odin says Mjolnir wasn't the source of your power; it was a conduit to help control it.
So
I guess
two people gonna have that power at the same time. If that's possible, then
I would assume so.
I'm okay with it. If it's not possible, I'm still not okay with it. Okay.
You're probably the only person that didn't like it.
Anyway, still a cool scene.
You were probably the only person.
Yeah, whatever.
Asshole.
Whatever. I just don't see two people have the same power at the same time of Thor. I guess is what I'm getting at. But anyway, moving on. After this part is the part that I teared up at.
So, there's a cool fight scene where they're fighting.
Captain America's to shit.
And at one point, Steve Rogers somehow gets Stormbringer, and
no, this is before this. This is before this. Captain America gets the shit kicked out of him. His shield's broken in half. Thanos is beating the hell out of him. Then all of a sudden,
no, you don't see that first.
You see the.
You hear, "Hey, Cap, on your left."
You hear.
And you see Captain America just pause and go, "Stand."
From Falcon.
And then Falcon just flies over him. And
Falcon?
Falcon was dusted.
Yeah.
And then you see all these big portals opening up of all these people just walking out of sorcerers. You see Black Panther, I think, was one of the first ones to come out.
Black
Spider-Man, everyone from Titan that got dusted.
Spider-Man back.
Yeah.
Everybody. And this point, it was just the epic music is playing. Everybody's coming back. And just
it was one of those things.
God, this is about to
and it was funny because in that scene before you see that, it's you see Captain America alone, and then you see Thanos with his entire fucking army behind him, and you see Captain America just cinch his shield and
pretty much it's just
all right, last stand, and then all of a sudden this happens. It was knew it was gonna somehow happen, but seeing it happen in that aspect, it was holy fuck. All right.
Yep. Yep. Cap, even though his shield was literally broken in half,
Yeah.
he was still ready to go.
And then
let's fucking do it.
something
I'm not going out without this
people
fight.
have been waiting
And then everybody comes to his aid.
8 years for. Whenever he kind of first came around and Avengers kind of happened. I guess it was 7 years was the first Avengers. And you hear him yell Avengers, and then there's like a slight pause,
yes.
and you just hear him say
You hear
assemble.
You hear it.
It was like, there it is.
Avengers.
Like, we've been waiting for that for 7 years since the first Avengers, and finally
Yep.
heard it. Yeah, it was
Jesus Christ. It's been
2012, I
7
think,
years since
right?
the first one? Wow.
Yeah.
Man, what a culmination of
That was another,
everything.
that was,
But anyway, yeah. So everybody comes out of the woodwork. I was literally
Yeah.
tearing up at
that
I
was a
was
very
like,
fan servicey moment of him saying
Oh god. Oh,
assemble
son of
too,
a
and
bitch.
everyone was like, all right.
Yeah. That whole scene. That whole like 45 seconds of everybody just coming back. You can see Black Panther.
Shuri.
Oh, what the fuck is his name? Manga with the
M'Baku.
whatever the one bad guy that. Yeah, and he starts doing
Yeah.
his chant. Then they all start fucking hitting their spears and shit, and like
Yeah.
everybody's there.
It was very
Everybody's
emotional
back.
scene.
Spider-Man comes back up
that-
to Iron Man. He's like, "Hey man."
Him and
Like-
Spider-Man and Iron Man
Yeah.
reunited, and he's like, yeah, all of a sudden, yeah, he's
Reunite.
like, all of a sudden we just woke up,
It's like I
and
passed
Doctor
out,
Strange was like, it's been
it
5
was
years,
like
they needed us, let's
ashes.
go.
I felt like I just passed out. He was like, "It's been 5 years," and like, I don't know, but like here I am. There was like ashes and dust and stuff. I'm like, we're here. And then Iron Man
Yeah.
just slowly hugs him, and then Peter Parker's
Yeah.
like, well, this is nice. it was very,
And then
very emotional.
at
scene
that
there
point,
for-
they're like,
for
all right, we
both
need
of
to
them.
get this gauntlet out of this time. We need to take it back. You know, we'll just use the quantum realm to get out of here and send it. Yeah,
Get it back to the 1970s van, get everything back in the quantum realm, go
Yeah.
back in time or do your time travel shit, and return the stones to the same place you took them from.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fuck up
and
that
so
timeline
it
as
became
well.
a pretty much a big game of hot potato, I guess, to get it back to the van.
Dude, it was the it was
Yeah.
the ultimate game of pass the gauntlet to superhero, and it was just like, you know, Ronan had it, and then he got kind of bogged down. Then Black Panther took it, and then Black Panther got
Which-
kind of caught up, and then
can-
Spider-Man grabbed it.
can-
and then
can we
Spider-Man jumped on a
Take a second
Valkyrie.
to realize when he was like getting mobbed down by like all the monsters, and he just goes, activate insta kill, and all of a sudden the spider arms come out and just start stabbing
Yeah.
everything. 'Cause I thought that was a cool
Yep. Activate instant kill.
callback to
I got
what
this.
is it?
I got this.
Homecoming. Because at one point when he's learning the suit in Homecoming, she's like, activate insta kill, and he's like, no, 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 no,
Yep.
and like it stops, but it's like, all right, I'm glad we
Yeah,
got to see what
yeah.
that does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. It actually works. It actually insta kills bastards. So as it's going hot potatoing and whatnot, somehow or another, the gauntlet gets close to
Cracking
Thanos,
shit.
and Thanos is just fucking hulking through everybody to get to it, and
Yeah.
ultimately he does get it. He gets it back on his hand, and holy shit, he's about to
Yeah.
do another snap. And earlier on in the movie, when the whole Nebula situation happens, when consciousness kind of goes back to her former self, which is currently like going, I don't know. Thanos is able to watch what happens. You know, even though Thanos dies, he sees himself die, but he knows what he did
Yeah.
was a fulfilled prophecy or something.
Which
so
actually,
you know, he's an inevitability.
right
Everything that
before
he's
this
gonna do
happens, I think
is
it's
done.
actually before the gauntlet even gets on the field. There's a big thing where like old Nebula runs into new Nebula, or past Nebula runs into future Nebula, and then Gamora appears and Hawkeye's there, and
Yeah. Yep.
old Nebula or past Nebula is about to shoot Ronan or Hawkeye, and then
Or Clint. And then she
And then-
puts her gun up to Gamora.
present future Nebula shoots past Nebula
Good
to stop her from killing
Good
Gamora.
Nebula. is there.
Which-
and it's a standoff.
Yeah, which got us
It's
confused
a
because
standoff.
past Nebula dies then, but
And then
present good Nebula is still alive. But
happens in the past.
that's what like was like a mind fuck, because it was like we know it shouldn't affect it, but like you just killed yourself in the from the past. How are you still alive?
Yeah.
And
exactly. But I was curious how. Not curious. I was just kind of disappointed that Nebula played almost. Besides, I mean, she did play a pretty major role bringing Thanos back into it, but like, I thought it was gonna be a bigger fight scene than that. I didn't think she's gonna take one to the chest and just be done. But future Nebula killed past Nebula, boom, done. Saved Gamora, saved Ronan, and then that ensues the whole.
And then he's about to snap again, or like as he puts it on, and he's like, because anytime I guess someone puts a stone in a gauntlet, like there's like a power surge that happens, and like the person like has to like take a second to like get used to it, and like Iron Man just looks over at Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange just points his finger up and just goes 1.
He's holding something back, and he just like goes like this one way. And earlier, like maybe 10 minutes earlier, Iron Man asks Doctor Strange, like, is this the one eventuality that you saw that we won? He's like, if I tell you what happens, it's not gonna happen. So, and then as soon as Thanos gets the gauntlet back, he gets his little power surge, and Iron Man flies over and looks at like Strange or whatever, and then he's doing that one, and like that was another thing. Like,
and then Iron Man like
goosebumps.
Essentially starts wrestling.
Like, oh, here goes Tony.
And like Thanos like punches him off, and then like sits there and just snaps. And I was like,
and says, "I am an inevitability."
And then he goes to snap. Nothing happens. And then you see Iron Man like
nothing happens.
Like cut a knee on there, and like you just see his hand turn around. You see all the stones on his suit, and he just goes, "I am Iron Man," and just snaps.
I am.
Which I thought was really
Iron
cool.
Man.
Because isn't actually.
I'm an inevitability.
I might be wrong, but in like one of the first scenes of the first Iron Man, no, he doesn't snap. He just holds his hands out when the explosions happen in the very beginning of the first Iron Man. Yeah, I was thinking he snapped. The explosion happens behind him, just like
Stark Industries.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No,
but I thought that was pretty cool. And then all of a sudden, like someone's. I think while he's because at one point.
We're in the gauntlet.
Like after he puts the gauntlet on, at one point, Iron Man runs up and like starts pulling on the gauntlet. So I'm assuming while he's pulling on the gauntlet, he was slowly extracting them.
It extracted.
But one thing actually before that even happened, which I thought was pretty cool, after he gets the gauntlet on, Captain Marvel comes in and like holds his hand open, and so he can't snap. And Thanos goes in and headbutts her.
Yeah.
And she just kind of stands there like. Fucking serious, like that's where Captain Marvel her powers.
This is another great.
That's what I mean.
Captain Marvel like, me. Yeah. Okay. 5 seconds before that, Thanos threw her off like a fucking
but then
like a gnat, like a shitty housefly.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
And then all of a sudden she comes back, and
that's what confuses me about her powers.
Where were you the whole time?
But then he pulls the power stone out of the gauntlet and like powers up through it and like just punches her off of him, which kind of also confuses me because
he pulls the power stone on
one
hand,
that's what kind of confuses me, because like power stone switching hands causes her to be able to be affected. I don't understand that. Yeah,
I mean the power stone was still in that hand. I don't get it, but whatever.
But then
and then that's when Tony grabs him and gets the stones.
And then I think someone's about to get killed, and like as one of the monsters is about to attack or kill someone, like it just turns to dust right then. I don't remember who it is. I know if someone's like about to get eaten or skewered or something.
Black.
I honestly don't remember.
Scarlet Witch. Maybe. But again, I forget. Captain Marvel again comes in, and they're kind of in the battle, and all of a sudden, big splashing, the rain fire. Thanos says rain fire from the ship. He's like, but Master, our troops. He's like, rain fire now. I don't care. So he starts just raining down like these laser shots, and all of a sudden those shots stop, and they start aiming at something in the distance. And of course, it's Captain Marvel. She comes in and just destroys his ship, flies right through it 2 or 3 times, just blows his fucking ship up, and then comes down and does that whole fight scene that we just discussed with the headbutt and whatnot. And then
And
Man does.
everyone turns to dust, and Thanos just kind of like sits down, and then he turns to dust also. So
Thanos gets dusted. Thanos gets fucking dusted.
theoretically, Thanos is
Oh,
dead.
live by the sword, die by the sword. Okay, he's snapped.
But we
man.
can talk
He's
about
dead.
that in a hot minute.
Just like everybody else was.
But then
Yep.
they even said before
then
Hulk
pretty much-
snapped to bring everyone back, like the amount of power Odar will kill whoever uses it, and essentially Tony Stark dies.
Yep. It didn't kill him.
Or
because
does die. From the snap,
He did the snap. Tony Stark dies because
Yeah.
the snap.
which was a
Brian.
very emotional scene.
Very, very, very emotional scene with Spider-Man
Yeah.
coming over and like saying, you're gonna be okay, and Potts coming over and saying, pretty much, whatever they say, and then she tells Tony to look at him and says,
You can,
"We're gonna be
and
all right."
I think she said
And
also you
meaning
can
her
rest
and the daughter.
now.
I'm guessing so. I was like, yeah, you can finally rest. And it's like, oh my god, like she knows he's dead. Just wants to let him know that her and the daughter will be okay.
And
And
then
just like, oh my god.
they
dude.
show
Oh my.
the funeral scene.
And he
It's
dies.
like all the heroes there. And they kind of pan from one set to another. So like it started off at like Pepper
was-
and the daughter. Then went to like Spider-Man and
Daughter.
Captain America, and like the Guardians were in there, and Captain America's group
Black
was
Panther
back in the
and then
back.
the one
and, like,
random
stuff like that.
teenager.
Did you notice the random guy standing by himself? Do you know who that was supposed
There was
to
the
be?
random teenager in the back. I guess he was the kid from.
Iron Man 3.
He was a kid from Iron Man 2.
I think that was supposed to be the kid from Iron Man,
Iron Man 3?
3.
Yeah, I guess so too. But it's this part of the movie too.
Yeah.
It was good. Don't get me wrong. But I didn't like how they segregated everybody into little groups. You're the Avengers. You're a fucking group. Avengers, assemble. Don't break out into little cliques. Don't break out into little movies. I don't care about Clint's family being over here by himself.
I think it
don't
just
care
was
about it. Be
kind of
one group.
show like their own little. I think it was supposed to show their own little group.
Who's still alive.
It would feel weird seeing May stand next
Yeah,
to
I know
Captain
that,
America
but
and Bucky.
why? They're the Avengers.
And also for
They're-
cinematic
They're
shot.
they're a family. They're a family
You're
yeah.
watching a movie about a giant
But
purple
still,
alien.
together.
You're
be one.
complaining that everyone's not standing together. It's
That's
not.
true. But
You're
they're the
complaining
Avengers.
it's not
Assemble.
realistic that people
Don't
aren't
break out in
standing
cliques.
together.
Like it's high school. This isn't high school, guys. This isn't high school.
Group class
I'm
photo.
not saying it's not-
Class
that is
photo.
realistic. People
Everyone
do
stand
break out
together.
in
Short
cliques.
guys down in front.
Yeah. we're the Avengers. Everybody get in. Anyway, you see Nick Fury. You see Captain Marvel.
It
I'm
was
still- I'm
supposed to
still
be the kid, I
confused who
think,
that
from
little
Iron
teenager
Man.
kid is. He was a
3.
kid from.
The kid in the
was
house
that
with the
kid?
kid that his dad went
Who
out
was
to
that
get
kid in
cigarettes
that?
and lottery tickets and is still out getting them. I think
Ah.
that's who it was supposed to be.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Gotcha. Ah. Okay. Yeah. And then after that whole funeral scene, all that mess of emotion, it goes to Professor Hulk,
And Bucky and
Falcon,
Thor, or Captain America, yeah.
Bucky, and Captain America. And
I think they're
all
by his
in
house
the
still.
woods, some random fucking place. Yeah, something.
They're
There's
like-
somewhere in outside, and Captain America goes
Return
back
everything.
to
Which I remember
return all the
after seeing the
stones.
movie that night, like I saw
They're-
on Reddit, someone was like, well, if
How did he get it back to its original
Huh?
form? How did he get the stones back in their original forms in their timeline?
I
did he get that one
don't
stone
know.
back? How
that's a
did he
good
get the one
question. I
back
don't
in
know.
The scepter. How did he get the reality stone back into like that gel, like that fluidy
Yeah, I
form
don't know.
in
I mean, they're
Jane,
scientists; they
like,
probably
I don't know.
figured it out. But,
Yeah.
someone on Reddit was like, if they took Mjolnir, then what happens during like Thor 2 and Age of Ultron? I was like, they probably put it back like 10 seconds after they took it. It's time travel. Like that's like
Yeah. Plus, what they do in the past
yes.
doesn't affect.
But it's
the
like one of
future
those
now,
things
right?
where it's like, I'm not
It
looking
just
at my coffee right
fucks up
now.
the time.
So for all I know, it could be gone for these 10 seconds. And I look over there and there it is. Like, maybe that's a something in the
Yeah.
future. Someone came back, stole it for 10 seconds, for all I know. But in reality, they had it for 3 weeks
Yeah.
and just put it right back.
I love. I mean, but I'm complaining about people not standing together and like
Yeah, people
I'm
complain about
complaining about stupid bullshit
That's-
that doesn't mean anything. But people are complaining about. Oh, this
That's
is not
what I
realistic.
say.
Okay, dude, you're watching a superhero movie where this guy was like raided by Gamma, he was bit by a fucking spider, blah blah blah, and you're worried about like some time. They're time
know.
traveling, and you're worried about that. Like anything you want to complain about can be okay. Time travel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Time travel.
I remember
I
like
guess you could do
when
that. Time
theories
travel.
first started that people
Oh,
were like,
yeah,
I hope
okay.
it's not just time travel because that's like kind of a cop out. But they did a good job at being like, whatever we do in the past isn't gonna change our future. They're like
They didn't
yeah.
just be like, okay, time travel. No, they're like, okay, we need to go back in the quantum realm, enter
And then
here,
come back
exit
to do
here,
this.
because we can do
Like
that.
it wasn't like
we have the
like War Machine said, why don't we
Yeah.
just go kill Thanos
Yeah,
as a baby?
so-
Well, that doesn't affect their future. So
yeah.
they
It
had to
doesn't
they had to
affect
go
our
back, get the
future. Yeah,
stones,
exactly,
and
so.
snap everyone back into existence.
So long story short, they're going to Captain America is going to restore the stones back to their original times and positions and forms, and
Yeah.
he's supposed to come back
And he-
5 seconds later.
Yeah.
But
And
he
Bucky
misses his
starts yelling
timeline.
at Hulk. He's like, "Get him back here!
And
Get him back
then-
here now!" And then all of a sudden, Sam just goes, "Bucky,
Falcon
look."
starts yelling at Hulk.
And there's just
No, it's the opposite.
no, it's Bucky.
Sam is yelling at Captain or Professor Hulk.
I
They're both
is
yelling
it?
at
I
him,
thought
but
it was
then
Sam
Bucky
that said it.
notices
Maybe not.
sitting over. Bucky notices that someone's sitting over at the edge of the lake, because that's when Sam walks
Yeah.
over. Falcon
Well, I
walks
remember
over and he
that.
gets a shield.
And it's an old version of Captain
Yeah, so-
America.
Yeah, but Bucky's.
Yeah,
So
Sam's
pretty
like,
much
"Did
he
you
skipped the
miss
jump
your
and
jump
went back to live his life.
like on purpose, or was that an accident?" And Captain America's like, "Tony always told me about like living a life, and I decided to sit down and do that, to try it out." And you
Try
see a
that out.
flashback of him in like the 50s, I guess, with Peggy Carter essentially living life, and
Peggy
yeah,
just dancing, and then credits roll. But before that, of course, he gives. I'm surprised he gave Sam the
I mean,
shield and
both
not
have
Bucky,
been Captain America.
You know.
So it might have ultimately came down to who has already like prior commitments to other films. Like maybe like the guy who plays Bucky, Sebastian something, I don't remember his last name. Maybe he has so much to do filming wise that like he
maybe
can't
done.
really do a Captain America movie within the next however many years. It might have ultimately came down to that. So
Yeah, but
because essentially what they did is they're saying Chris
I just
Evans
don't
is done
see
as
why
Captain
Falcon got
America,
the shield.
but there's still a Captain America. They're still going to be filmed. He's still going to be in movies.
Yeah.
It's just not going to
Okay.
be Steve Rogers as Captain America. It's going to be Sam Wilson. Much like there's been multiple Hulks. There's been couple Iron Mans. Yeah.
Yeah, but Sam Wilson's not genetically
No.
enhanced human being, you know.
But
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, then
Yeah.
it shows him dancing with
Which-
his best gal.
I actually saw
and,
some people post on
credits
Reddit
roll.
about this. Like, no, I'm kind of mad that Captain America lived and Iron Man died. And someone brought up a good point. They're like, well, if you think about it, the characters' mindsets essentially flipped at the end of Endgame. In the beginning of the whole MCU, Iron Man was a selfish, all about me person, and ultimately ended up sacrificing himself to save everyone. Whereas Captain America for the longest time
Save
was
everybody.
selfless,
Yep.
always about helping other people, not caring about himself. And then ultimately at the end took time for himself, and lived his
You know what?
life.
Fuck it, I'm living my life.
No,
Not saying that's selfish of him.
but it's a
Not-
flip of his
but
whole
it just-
character.
He kind of
He went from
yeah.
Yeah.
Stop being so altruistic, and then start
Yeah.
being a little
which
bit
I thought
about
was a
me,
good way for them
self-centered,
to go
and
out. It was kind
live
of
my life
a flipping character.
rather than saying
Yeah.
So, as we roll credits, 3 of the Avengers, I believe,
Done.
are officially dead and gone. Well, not dead,
Which
but
are Black
3 of
Widow,
them
who's
are
dead.
done. Scarlett Johansson is
Iron Man, Tony
Black
Stark,
Widow.
who's dead, and
Robert Downey Jr.,
Chris Evans.
Iron Man. Yep, and Chris Evans now is hanging up his shield pretty much. Well, passing his shield off, passing the torch, and being done with his role. So, it's gonna be weird not seeing Cap and Iron Man in the movies. Especially, I mean, Black Widow, but she has her own movie coming out.
How that's gonna work out,
which is weird, but it's set in like set before the first Avengers, I believe. So
I mean, I could see for sure at least Captain or Steve Rogers still making cameos. Not necessarily saying it's gonna be Chris Evans, but I could see like them just casting an older person that looks like an older Chris Evans maybe, and just saying, all right, you're just gonna have a line here or something, and just like do.
Chris Evans is very vocal about wanting to be done with the role. I don't want.
So here's the thing.
I mean, I'm sure
both him, I think Robert Downey Jr. were the same way. One, especially for Chris Evans, he has to stay in amazing shape to be in that role. Like,
he's an actor. He's
not
have to stay in that good of shape anyway.
That good of shape necessarily.
I mean,
depends on the roles he takes. But I've also heard from both of them that they wanted to go out on a high note. They didn't want to run these characters into the ground to the point where it's like, you know, they're shitty. They're shitty now. Like,
just
not
die
even just
already.
die now. It's just like, this isn't the character. This isn't the character. This is a different character than what it started out as. Whatever. So they're like, this is a good spot for it to end. We want to end on a high note. We don't want to.
This was the best.
Make fans hate these characters. We want them to end well. We don't want to be looked at as villains, stuff like that, which is respectable in my book.
Okay. Better to burn out than fade away. Yep.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Which actually, one thing we forgot to mention is
burnout,
the Gamora from Guardians that ran into Peter Quill. So.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know what her deal is, because at the end you see Peter Quill looking for her, searching for her through databases and stuff, and it says like missing or something or not found. But then you see Thor on the ship with them. So it seems like Thor movies are kind of done, but he's going to be with the Guardians, so he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I know he's
is Thor now Guardian?
With the Guardians before in the comics, which. Because
I'm all
at
for
the
it.
end of Guardians 2, they set up for a character called Adam Warlock to appear. He was the guy kind of like in the cocoon at like the post-credit scene or something, with like the people that are like all gold skin and stuff. Who apparently this character is like in the original Infinity Gauntlet comic story arc. Adam Warlock was like one of the big heavy hitters in that story arc. So like because he's a big heavy hitter, the Guardians need a big heavy hitter on their team, and Thor is one of the people that can do it.
Thor is that person.
So it seems like Thor is going to kind of appear in at least Guardians 3. Who knows where we'll go after that? But I'm excited for that because like over the last couple movies Thor has been in, he's kind of fit that Guardians tone. I feel like of the comedy.
He's been more comedic than he has been.
It seems like he vibes well with them
War, he was pretty
in that
crazy.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially him and Quill, the banter
this
back
is my
and forth
ship.
between
Yes,
who's in charge.
of course it's
and,
your ship. You're the one in charge of making all the
fun,
decisions.
Of course. Everybody knows who's in charge. Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. Yeah. So where do we go from
that's
here,
what I was trying to think of. I hope.
What next? I guess we kind of talked. We just talked about that a little bit. Like, Thor's with the Guardians now. Like,
I think that might be a
Is she
big
gonna
plot
be
point
alive?
in
Like,
Guardians
what's the
3.
deal?
Partly to have
Makes sense.
trying to find her, or because we don't exactly know what happened to past Gamora that got into that timeline. We don't know if she got dusted or if she just disappeared. We don't exactly know what happened to her. Yeah,
did
no one
she
knows.
Leave after that whole thing.
Really
Like,
see.
I'm guessing she did because they
But
can't
then,
find her.
what was I gonna say? Oh,
Will it
So,
ever be this epic again?
as far as we are concerned, Thanos' whole story is done. And he's gone.
Okay.
I
Yep.
hope they take,
Mm-hmm.
a
Agreed.
couple of years and a couple, like, at least one full set of movies with every group and hero to kind of, like, just let it go. Don't build up for anything new. Kind of like what they did in the beginning, where they didn't. They might have known
Just
where they
fly
were going
solo. Do
with the whole Infinity
something.
Stone story arc, Infinity War story arc, at like Captain America or something. But they didn't say anything until the first Avengers, with the
Mhm.
teaser of Thanos.
Fine.
That
once
was
in the done,
Age of
yeah,
Ultron
do it
2,
yourself.
when he reaches in to grab the
Right?
gauntlet.
Was that it?
I think at
Oh, was
the
it?
end
Okay.
of Avengers
Okay.
1, you just see him smiling or something. I don't remember if he says anything.
Something. Yeah. Yeah.
But I hope they like take like a
But-
set of movies for each
Dude.
one and just like don't build anything or set anything up for overall evil story
Yeah,
arc.
don't introduce any like
Um,
major. Yeah.
But
No reason to
like
assemble yet.
I was looking
Nothing
it up
yet.
and I was trying to think of like who are the villains that they could set up for the next ultimate big bad if they were to decide to do one again. Because for all we know, they might not decide to do one again for another 10 years or something, or even just start up to set one.
That's true. Yeah.
Which they have
Only
the
person I can
ability
think
to
of is
since they
Galactus, maybe?
acquired Fox. Because Galactus is technically a Fantastic Four property, but because they acquired Fox, who was Fantastic Four, they could theoretically go into that now. And they
Okay.
can bring the Fantastic
And they
Four,
can
and they
bring
can
the
also bring
Fantastic Four
the
into it,
X-Men
right?
into it. Yeah.
Deadpool. Deadpool.
I think he's considered part
Which
of
I guess
X-Men.
is he part of X-Men now or something? I don't know.
So
So yeah, dude, they can make these movies just as epic, but there should be no Wolverine. Technically,
yeah.
I guess, as we know him, there's gonna be no Iron Man, no Cap, as we know
But-
him. But I just don't know if it'll ever be this
So
epic again, man.
there's
I don't think I'll ever care about the new characters
Probably
as much as
not,
I
'cause
did
you
the
didn't-
original, like Iron
we
Man and
grew up
Cap,
with them. I mean, they came out 10 years ago. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Dude,
we were like,
we were 15. 15, 16 maybe? 16
Yeah.
like I would just
Well,
got my
that's-
license.
yeah.
Being able to drive to the theater and see them. So like yeah,
but like yesterday, I was kind of looking up like
insane.
who are the villains they could go with. Galactus is one, because he's obviously a big global, universal threat. They could,
planet
I guess,
eater. He
potentially
eats
do
planets.
Doctor Doom, but I feel like that would be kind of harder to get away with against all the Avengers. But in the comics, he has been a big bad
Yeah.
before, with whole like universe changing story arcs revolving around him. But the two I kind of thought could potentially do it that could live up to Thanos. One is Annihilus, who I haven't really read anything about him, but when I read his powers and abilities, I feel like he could be up there. Essentially, he's capable of self-propelled flight, can withstand the vacuum of space, which, especially with Captain Marvel and the Guardians being in space, that can
Captain Marvel.
be a big plot point. His
Yep.
armor, in quotes, is actually an insectoid exoskeleton with some armor components that grant him resistance to most forms of injury, for example, extreme temperature, ballistic force, bullets, etc. Superhuman physical abilities, capable of breathing in a vacuum of empty space. Wings can carry him at speeds up to 150 miles per hour. He can manipulate cosmic energy
Damn.
in order to manipulate the molecular structure of matter. And he also is, I think, I don't know if he's the leader. He also leads an elite personal guard, the Centurions, 200 superpowered aliens, each from a different negative zone world. They're extremely loyal to him and form a devastatingly effective army.
I mean, it wasn't Thanos' army devastatingly
I mean,
effective?
you
They're
had
extremely loyal to him, too?
the children of Thanos, but you could argue he had a bunch of grunts too.
That's true. Yeah. So
Which
this
is
guy
what it
can
sounds like.
alter the
Yeah.
molecular form of atoms.
But Scarlet Witch.
That's-
Scarlet Witch
you can have no other
She's
superpower.
also
and
considered one of the
be-
most powerful
fucking hell.
superheroes in Marvel, where she can alter reality. So I think if they were to go with Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange still being in the Avenger movies, he wouldn't be a bad choice. Yeah, and he wouldn't be a bad choice because that kind of combats that can open up their abilities to be a little bit more ridiculous with their power with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Scarlet Witch can control reality.
I think it requires a lot more
say, fuck you guys.
strength and stuff, and with her kind of being in the early stages, in quotes, of her superhero career, she might not necessarily have that yet. But the other one,
gotcha. I also want to point out again, I mean,
yes.
Vision's officially done too. He's been done, so that was another one of the Avengers I forgot to mention in the Dead.
The other person that I could think of, which is why I said Thanos is theoretically done for good, is Kang the Conqueror, who has actually no superhuman abilities, but is an extraordinary genius, an expert historical scholar and master physicist, specializing in, especially with this movie now, time travel, engineer and technician. He is armed with 40th century technology, so he's from the way future. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wearing highly advanced battle armor that enhances his strength and is capable of energy, hologram, force field projection, and has 30-day supply of air and food, and capable of controlling other forms of technology.
This guy's powerful because he has a month.
Well, I think that's just kind of the show. Like, you can't just, like, live him, whatever. Yeah.
You can't just strand him somewhere and he'll be fine. Yeah. I'm sure in 30 days is
and he
fucking ultra genius
pretty much has access to technology from any century, and he once claimed his ship alone could destroy the moon. So I feel like he could also be a formidable big bad eventually because of the time travel aspect and the fact that he can essentially travel to anywhere and get anything he wants. Which is why I said Thanos is
he wants to.
Theoretically done, because if he has access to time travel, he could go back to before even
bring him back.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Age of Ultron, all that stuff. Go back to the first Avengers movie theoretically and get that Thanos and bring him back. So
yeah, it's true. So I guess we'll see, but I don't know, man. I don't think it's just, for me, going to be as epic as it will be now. Like, going to see the movies in theaters, I'm still, of course, going to go see them, but it's going to be like, okay, but what is this?
That's
what
the
is
thing. For the past 7 years,
like,
we've had this build up for Thanos. Before that, we didn't. We didn't know what was coming. Now everyone's always asking what's going to be next.
So
how is Marvel going to stand up to this? And I hope for the next 4 or 5 years we don't see any setup for any next big thing. Give everyone their solo movies, let them, because I think also a lot of the next couple of movies for a lot of these heroes are going to be dealing with the repercussions of the Infinity War Endgame movies. Which actually, one thing I saw which kind of confused me a little bit, and I saw a lot of people pointing out, at the end of Endgame, we see Peter Parker return to school. All right, he's been snapped for 5 years. He has to finish his education. But Ned was there. Ned and all
everybody
his
else is still in school.
Classmates were still in school and are still in school and far from home.
On the same grade. Did they all get snapped too, or did life just like kind of? It seemed like it just came to a standstill when everybody died. So maybe they're just kind of okay, everybody's back now. Let's just pick up where we left off. Yeah, fucking 26.
That's what I mean. Like that's kind of
so.
one thing I saw people point out. It's like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, no, I see that. I don't like that. Now that you pointed that out.
Yeah, time travel is weird.
The fuck.
But yeah.
Do you think they might have traveled back in time 5 years before? No, because they would have had to have happened in their timeline to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird stuff.
Yep.
Time travel is so confusing, man, because like everybody explains it differently, and of course it was set doesn't actually exist. So it's like, what do you like? What rules can you fabricate for people to try to follow, and it's just everybody's different. It's crazy. Anyway, we'll see what comes next. Just holy fuck, Infinity War, Endgame, best movies of all time.
What's that?
Superhero movies of all time. Best superhero movies of all time.
I don't know. Like there's
for me, yeah.
like Infinity War and Endgame are up there,
Hands
but it's
down.
partly just the huge buildup that they've had over the past 7 years.
Which makes them
But
so
what
much
if you had to
better.
pick a movie that didn't have, like, well, I remember when Infinity War came out, one of the reasons it didn't score as high as some of the other movies was because if you didn't go into it having seen the past 22 films, it wasn't as
19.
meaningful.
Yeah. But for those who have, it was that much.
Yeah, but
Arguably, right? If
but
you invested that much,
do you need to say this movie is the best because I've seen 19 films before it? Shouldn't a movie be the best if it doesn't rely on 19 films before that film? You know what I mean? Like some of the best
I
movies,
get what
like
you're saying, yeah.
one of the reasons I love Batman Begins is because not just because it's a Batman film, but it's a really good telling of an origin story. And you can go in and watch it and be like, that's a really good film. Or even The Dark Knight. You don't need to, there's almost nothing that happens in Batman Begins to see The Dark Knight. And you see The Dark
But The Dark Knight in and of itself isn't that. I would still think Infinity War, not having seen the other movies, would still be better than The Dark Knight.
I don't know if you would actually think that, though.
You know?
Because you would go, I don't know if you would actually think that, because you would go,
What's that?
why do I care about this character? Who's this character? Why do I care about this character? If you haven't, because how much would you actually know about Marvel if you have not seen the 19 films before that? Would you know who Rocket Raccoon is? Would you care about a tree getting dusted?
No.
No, you wouldn't.
Maybe.
No, you wouldn't.
Maybe I'd care about a tree. It was between him or a tree. I mean,
You see what I mean? Like,
I get what
I'm
you're
not
saying,
saying it's
but,
not a
like,
great film. Yeah,
having
it's
seen them all.
probably one of the best ones I've seen. But you shouldn't have to rely
You make a
on
good
19
point. You
films
do make a
before
good point
to
there.
say this is the best
But-
film. Because how many films
Yeah.
have come out in the past 20 years that go, oh my god, this is a classic? But you didn't need to watch 19 films to understand why. So
Yeah.
it's yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's not a standalone movie, but for having seen the other movies and being invested in the characters that we are, it's
Because
fucking
the
top
sole
tier,
reason that
so.
you've had 19 movies to see before it.
okay.
Yep.
So just agree to disagree on this one because
Nope.
we're just not gonna do that then. Yep. Dark Knight wasn't as good as Infinity War. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. So
Yeah, well, you're also wrong about Thor or Captain America picking up Mjolnir. So
well, give me a Squirrel Girl movie, and then that will be the
until
best
it completely
superhero
tanks.
movie. Please, thank you. Oh no, it wouldn't. It'll be a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque
don't know
thing.
that.
Everybody will love the obscure Squirrel Girl. No, I don't know. I don't know if they'll ever do that, but it
Yeah, could you?
would be cool. She
Huh?
beat Galactus with friendship.
All right, all right. That's
She beat Galactus with friendship in the comics. Yeah. Anyway,
I think so.
is that gonna do it then? All right, that'll wrap it up here for Nifty 50, Sky Party Podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hit us up if you guys have anything you want to tell us about Endgame or Infinity War or whatever, and Marvel in general, where they can go, how you guys think it wrapped up, or what you guys liked, didn't like. Let us know, and
Bye.
enjoy. Have a good week. See ya.